I want to be okay. Sorry. Yeah, for today's show, I want to be a little bit more. What's the word?
Structured.
Structured. Yes. So I already told Carl this. I forgot to text you guys. Go ahead and get on your phones and find a one topic, as far as in the news currently, that you'd like to discuss for about 5 minutes. Because we'll do a little news segment at the very beginning, For example, let's see.
When you say news, that means that it's excluding any topics?
Nope.
Oh, good.
Whatever you want, man.
Mine's the UCL the last 2 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, go ahead and start, because...
admittedly, this is so unfortunate because soccer/football isn't as huge in America as it is. But the last 2 days of the semifinals for the UCL, the Champions League, have been just amazing.
Well, yeah. The two teams that were playing, literally, that were behind, their two best players weren't even playing.
Well, the thing for both teams, the two best
both
players.
teams. Harry Kane and Salah weren't playing for either one of those teams, and they still managed to come back down 4-3 goals.
Well, the thing that was most amazing,
mostly the aggregate, but whatever,
is that the perception, and of course it is that soccer is just low scoring, and then hardly anything's going on, and people are just holding the ball or playing defense. The four semifinals, all four teams were playing a pressure, high scoring, attacking style of soccer.
Great soccer.
And possibly, arguably, if not the greatest player of the generation, the guy that's the other person in the discussion, his team, who hasn't been in the finals in 5-6 years?
They haven't been
7 years?
7 years.
7 years? Is in.
But this is the first time neither Messi nor Ronaldo are going to be in the final.
In like 8 years.
In 8 years, yeah.
And
7-8 years.
So Barcelona has a 3-goal lead at home, going on the road to Anfield at Liverpool. Liverpool needs to score just to get people excited. They do score in the first 15 minutes, but then nothing happens, and nothing happens, and nothing happens. And the second half goes. And leading into the game, the reporters are asking Jurgen Klopp, the manager of Liverpool, it's like, what were you going to do? It's like, we're going to try. We're going to go out there, and we're going to do our best, and if it doesn't work, we're going to fail beautifully. Yep. It's like, that's all you can ask is a bet. And then they make a substitution because one of their emotional leaders gets hurt. They bring in Wijnaldum, comes in, and he scores in the 56th and 59th minute. And all of a sudden it's 3-3, and we're looking to extra time, which eventually penalty kicks.
Wait, didn't both games have a guy have a hat trick?
No.
That's
Origi scored in the first. Origi, Wijnaldum, Origi, and then Lucas Moura had the hat trick for Tottenham. Okay. And then there was scouting by Liverpool looking at the way Barcelona reacts to any penalty call. That they, regardless of anything that happens, they complain to the refs. They're looking at theirs, like, oh, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. So they notice that they're slow to set up on set pieces. So they told their ball boys, get the balls back to our players so we can get it set up quickly.
That last goal.
So if you see, there's a corner given
kick
to Liverpool, and as soon as the ball is delivered for that, you see the ball boy close to that corner immediately roll the ball over there. Trent Alexander-Arnold sets it up. He walks away for a bit as the other ball walks on. Then he sees that Origi is in there. Everybody's turning. He turns back, quick corners it right to Origi, who still has to – it's a fantastic pass, still has to make a great shot right past the goalie. And now they're up 4-0, 4-3 on aggregate, and just have to hold off the last 15 minutes. And it's just the most amazing thing. You can't even hear stuff because the crowd is going nuts. And it doesn't happen. You don't come back from 3 goals down, let alone score 4 in a shutout when you have to do this. And then Tottenham, who's missing Harry Kane.
And hold on top of that, all the things. This is the second time Barcelona's done this in 2 years?
3 years.
Yeah,
no.
Last year they were down.
No, 3 years ago they came back against PSG.
Yeah.
They did this to PSG 3 years ago.
And then last year, they were up, I thought.
They were up 3-0 as well.
Yeah,
Roma.
And they lost to Roma.
They lost to Roma.
Ha! Suck it, Barca.
And then you get Tottenham, who's been terrifically hasn't been spending any money, hasn't won any trophies, and everybody's wondering, is the team going to get broken up? Is the coach going to leave? But Man United
finally going to sell Kane.
Man United finally did them a favor and kept Ole, what's his name, Solskjaer, kept him, so Pochettino doesn't have that job. Zidane went back to Real, so it's like he's going to stay there. So they got their coach and everything, and then they make a tremendous comeback to hold off Man City in the quarterfinals, and they're without their best player who got injured in that match, and has been 1-6 in all matches leading up to this. Without him, the only win was the road goal, the one goal that they needed, the 2 goals that they needed at home in order to beat City in the aggregate from the round before. Mm-hmm. And and then they go through, and then Lucas Moura, who's playing because Harry Kane is out, and then he scores. Well, first off, Ajax is at home. So they scored the one road goal. So they're already up like that 1.5.
Yeah.
And then they score twice in the first half. So it's 3-0 at halftime. So in the 45 minutes, Tottenham's down. They get 2 goals by Moura. And then they go into extra time because of the goal celebrations and an injury and everything. And they put
5 minutes. 5 minutes were added.
5 minutes are added.
Initially.
And it at 94:59.
That guy,
the ball comes off his boot.
he does a he does a great long range pass forward pass.
The thing is, it's like at the beginning of the minute, as soon as they get to the beginning of the 94th minute, they had a good opportunity, and Son just hit it right over, and it was like, that's it. That's
a long range through pass right there, almost to the box.
Yeah, and they're not going to get a chance.
They're streaking because it's a counter, and they just boom. It wasn't even that great of a strike.
No,
great location.
Yeah,
awful strike.
Well, and thing is, like it should have been a pass because instead of a shot. And then they get that, and then as I'm watching it, and then once the pass goes, it's like, oh my God, he's like on the goalie just about, and he hits it right between a defender, right past the goalie, and about the only place he could as he's turning the wrong way with his his off foot, and he gets the hat trick with like no time left.
No time left, but then. They gave Man City, or not Man City, but they gave Ajax
like 2 extra minutes.
They gave 2 extra minutes. They're like, what's happening? The game should have been over. Like they're like, 7.5 minutes later, the game finally ends, and Ajax had what 3 opportunities?
3 opportunities. And
3 opportunities.
One of them hit the post like right before or right after, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. So it's been pretty wild in European soccer the last couple of days.
And then today, Chelsea and Arsenal are both playing the second leg of their semifinals. One of them is even and one of them is ahead. So it could be all English teams in both Euro finals, in the Europa.
And when was the last time that's happened?
That's been a terrifically long time ago. And possibly, so that's Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Tottenham. And then the best team in all of English Premier League could end up, if they win on Sunday, having 198 points in the last 2 seasons, eking out beating Liverpool, who was going to be probably one of the best teams in all of European football not to win any trophy whatsoever in the course of the season, and now they're in the Champions League final.
All right,
it was fantastically entertaining.
Yeah, it was actually. I watched both games, and actually I caught the very end of the Liverpool. What am I saying? Oh my God, my brain.
You watched most of that because you were hate watching Barca, right?
Yeah. I caught the end of the Liverpool game, and I'm like, okay. And then I watched the second half. I caught the second half yesterday. I'm like, let's see what happens. I had no faith in Tottenham to come back like that.
No, not at all.
I was like, But then the second half, they score a goal early in the first 10 minutes of the second half. I'm like, okay, this got interesting. So, yeah. Carl, how about you, man? What you want to talk about?
But before the emotion of the players, both Liverpool and that. I mean, everybody's just breaking down and crying. It's like, this is the best. Everybody's saying this is the greatest day in my life. And it's like outsiders watching it. It's like, what's the big deal? It's like these things in these towns and these cities have been going on for over 100 years. And it's people have grown up and root for that. When you root for a team in Europe, that's your team. It's not like in the U.S. now when a free agent leaves and you're like, oh, no, I follow this guy and that's who I root for now. You're like, nope, this is my team and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, what news would you like to discuss, Carl?
Not soccer, please.
Yeah, mine was almost like soccer, but I was going to go with North Korea.
What, firing their second ballistic missile? The fact that
right
could
after
seize the ship of theirs as well.
Things the U.S. doesn't pay attention to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Firing their second. When 45 was like, we've settled everything with them. Okay.
Kim Jong-un is unhappy again. Well, that's what South Korea is thinking, anyways. They're doing it as a retaliation to denuclearization.
Literally, as you're looking at that, we apparently seized one of their ships.
Good.
It's like,
is that like
I
a
can't
freighter
believe
of
we've
some
actually
sort?
done that.
Well, no, it says U.S. seizes North Korean coal ship, accuses Pyongyang of violating sanctions.
Oh, that's right. They only do coal. That's right.
It's like,
They
45.
can only do mechanical energy sources.
Hey, 45. I thought you worked out everything with that madman in North Korea, and he's like, yes, we're good.
Yeah.
Peace everywhere. No. Not quite.
Yeah.
Where does that coal originate? Is that what they're trying to do with like bringing back the Appalachian coal industry, and then it ends up that the only country that really is going into it that has to have it is
Make
North Korea
coal
now.
clean again. Wait,
And
where
we'll
can we?
sell-
What
and
do we
we'll
do with
sell
that
to North
coal?
Korea?
They're probably producing it from their own people. Is what they're doing.
You might not be wrong.
No, that's a solid chance.
Yeah, you could very well be right.
I'm just waiting for them to make the interview too with both of them.
How is that not happening?
You find out Kim Jong-un survived the helicopter explosion.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think Trump has the skin and fortitude to.
Legally, you can't make that movie in the United States currently.
We'll shoot it in Korea, whatever. But no, like it'd just be hilarious. Like you have Kim Jong-un survives the plane crash, his skin's all burnt, and he stands next to Donald, and his skin still looks more normal.
Oh man!
But yeah, no, I mean, South Korea's flipping out about it because they're wanging it towards what? Well, no, they're not just wanging it towards them; they're wanging it towards Japan as well.
Yeah, normally they shoot it like right over the top of the southern part of the peninsula toward Japan, or over the top of Japan. It's just like, hey, we're just swinging around here.
We can do this. We can do this. Please, please, please.
Of course, the information that we don't have, which is probably terrifically accurate, is they were aiming for an island off the coast of North Korea, and this is as close as they could get.
Oh man, have you seen some of those? Did you all watch Vice? They did an episode about they went to North Korea with Dennis Rodman.
Did you say that with the German accent?
Yeah.
Vice.
Vice.
Did you see this? Vice?
Did you watch the episode of Vice? I did. No, it's crazy, man. They would go into Korea and literally.
Oh, no, I did. Yes.
Yeah, they set up the whole here's one of our North Korean grocery stores. We have produce. Look, we have it was like the wall cereal.
This is the interview all over again.
Yeah, it really is. No,
it is.
Well, no, they didn't realize
Is that a real fat kid?
This shit happened before that movie even came out. They go to Korea and like, hey, this is one of our grocery stores, and they have like a wall cereal, and it's all cardboard cut out. It's not even real box of cereal.
We have not filled the boxes yet.
They're
getting there.
It's like, behold,
Just, like the wind blows everything away, like to the back.
Here's
You
our
just see the cardboard go.
Here's our Korean cola. It's just bottles of brown water.
It's also coal. Cola spelled C-O-A-L-A.
It's like, hey, look, guys, we have oranges. There's like 3. And there's like one bunch of bananas, but it's plastic.
Which is also coal, just spray
Like, wait a
paint
second.
orange.
Those are plastic plants.
Koreans are fueled strictly by coal. The people and the vehicles.
Korea, please don't bomb us.
No. We love you, Korea. Give us free stuff.
We love you, Korea.
Not coal.
I love Korean women.
What if Santa Claus is just Kim Jong-un with all the bad kids in Korea get a lump of coal? Think about it. A good Christmas in Korea is a lump of coal.
If you're good, if you're good, you'll get a lump of coal.
Oh, look, we can keep our house warm for a day.
If you're bad, your family gets victimized.
It's terrible. We can't. We're literally making fun of our country.
Well, here's the thing.
They're not
about
allowed
this.
to go on the internet and look at this. They're good.
We're protected.
There are 90% of the population of North Korea probably has no concept of what shades or blinds or curtains are.
Nope.
Well, they're very vast majority. I don't know what the figure is, but they're very impoverished, very very impoverished, but
and malnourished.
And malnourished, yeah. But no, the thing that kills me is just the amount of brainwashing that goes into all this. The amount of effort it takes to do it too.
Oh, well, I mean, when it's state sponsored and it's the only information that you've ever been taught, it's a lot easier to do it that way than have to.
Oh,
they'll import videos. Years and years ago, they loved Disney over there, but they don't think it's made by Americans.
Oh, yeah.
Because that'd be wrong.
They think Kim Jong-il drew it himself, probably.
Yeah. Well, apparently
18 holes in one.
18 holes in one. He shot a perfect round of golf.
Yeah.
He doesn't shit. He's like fucking Dennis from
It's Always Sunny.
He's like, I consume just the perfect amount of calories. And
my body's running on 100% efficiency.
My body runs at 100% efficiency. He does it on an asshole.
He's like, how about we just take more self? Let's do the less working out. How about that?
And the thing is, in my visit to China, there's a similarity in that some of the tours with some of the historic sites and the way that they're referred to and spoken to. And it's like if you ask a question that's not particularly invasive, and then there's like a response of like, why would you even think that would be a possibility? And you're like, oh yeah, it's different here. and that's a much more open country by magnitudes than North Korea would be. And so it's like I can't even imagine. It's like you can't. This is anybody wants to know sociologically what it was like when they're like, oh, the pharaohs are like God on earth, the sun god and everything. So this is what North Korea is like. Is that's what they're
Yeah.
taught. That's who that guy is.
Their supreme leader is a god.
Yeah.
Actually, I
He does not have a butthole. He has no need for one.
I don't think Josh would last a second in China with their porn ban. No porn.
What?
No porn in China.
What would I do?
Exactly. What would
I'd
you
have
do?
to leave my house. Why do you guys think I always leave after an hour and a half?
Now in China, they block the ability to like download a VPN. Be like, ooh, I don't live in China. I live in Korea.
Well, I mean it worked through the cell phones that we had.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if that's... find out?
I don't know. I don't know about the laptops because I didn't take my laptop, but it worked for my friend who was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So we were getting
Yeah,
our
my
internet through
friend.
Japan.
My
Well, I don't
friend.
want to say names because I know that they're recording and
'Cause they're
monitoring
named
everything.
Jerry?
No.
Yeah, this is my.
I don't take
box.
laptops
His
anywhere.
name is Samsung.
I don't take my laptops anywhere.
Sam Hung.
Samsung.
You better cure cancer.
So, anything more about North Korea, guys? Before we move on to the next topic here, right quick.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think there's anything we could do about it. You just
I mean, Iron
wait
Man
to see
2
what.
taught us everything about that. None of it works.
So, Josh, what do you? Your news topic of the day?
Okay, fine. We did soccer. We did Korea. Now let's go back to sports. Did you see Stephen A. Smith was reporting on ESPN that people are telling Jeannie Buss to trade LeBron James after the Tyronn Lue hire didn't happen because they would only hire him for 3 years, which is how many years LeBron has left on his contract.
Which is genius on their part.
I would do it too.
I wouldn't offer him any money beyond LeBron staying there. And the second part is they also wanted to choose an assistant because everybody.
Jason Kidd, which he was going to be, who's going to be all right.
He'd
with.
be all
They
right.
wanted to bring in Tibbs.
But everybody knows.
Like the thing is, hold on.
Oh, Tibbs would be a terrible
Exactly.
coach.
Would LeBron actually listen? It would be like, hey, listen. All right, look. Here's Thibodeau. All right, you can coach those kids how to play defense. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. You can't coach me. And that's the one thing I was actually watching something about that yesterday. They're saying that all like the OG superstars, when they're talking to each other, like LeBron's never taken to coaches ever. He doesn't.
Well, I mean,
coaches.
that's precisely
He can't be coached.
that's precisely why he left Miami because he wanted more influence and player as many of those all stars did. But the ones who have less influence end up being more successful because Jordan railed against Reinsdorf his entire time at in Chicago. Actually, the two
And
Jerrys.
Collins?
No, Reinsdorf was the owner, the general manager because he wanted all these different players and everything.
He
He's
might
like,
be the
no.
worst at personnel in the league.
Well, it's-
Michael Jordan, yeah, it's bad.
And then LeBron is like, hey, I want more influence in here. And he wanted Spoelstra fired. He wanted Pat Riley to come downstairs. And the only reason Spoelstra didn't get fired is because Riley's like, no, that's my guy.
yeah.
and
my
he's staying.
guy.
And those Miami teams were way better than those Cleveland teams, I think.
Well,
absolutely.
that was
They
the
were
thing.
better
Is
constructed.
after the first year, Riley saw it's like, oh, this is what we need. So they've got Battier, who is a good wing defender. They brought in
Allen.
Ray Allen, who's another shooter because
Another
that's the things
shooter
that
who they
work.
need.
He can play defense.
And they
brought in Mike
moved
Miller, right?
Mike Miller was there originally.
He was there,
Yeah.
and they moved Bosch out more outside, so he's not blocking the box.
Open up the lane.
And then so he added his 3-point thing. So I mean, it's you knew it's. I've been joking that as soon as LeBron signed there, it's Tyronn Lue's getting there. The mistake was that they didn't hire him last year on a 4-year deal, which he probably would have signed. But then he's still the Cleveland coach. And again, Tyronn, it's funny
the
because
LA Cavs.
because people are like, "Oh, Tyronn Lue should definitely turn it down. He's going to get plenty more opportunities." No, he's not.
Not any. No,
So wait, all right. So
Just retire with your title.
who would be a good trade partner for LeBron? Who do you think? Who would be the one team like boom, instant contender?
The funniest thing is no. The funniest thing is I mean if
what do you want back from him?
petty wise,
The Celtics.
petty wise,
The Celtics.
Yes, no, absolutely. The Celtics is the answer.
Let
Super
Kyrie
petty
go.
wise though, you trade him to New Orleans for Anthony Davis. Super petty. But it's the Celtics. The Celtics are
that'd
the
be
best
beautiful.
one. The Celtics are the best one because you could get Kuzma and LeBron going one way. You send Tatum, probably Rozier, and then Horford has to be a part of that going back the other way.
and they have
And then maybe some
they have
of the
picks.
younger
They
guys.
have
Yeah,
picks.
yeah, they have picks.
and they
They have
keep
picks.
Hayward and they keep Kyrie.
They keep
re-sign Kyrie.
They keep no Kyrie. They're not re-signing Kyrie. Kyrie is gone.
Well, Kyrie's gone.
Kyrie is going to ruin Knicks fans.
That was the worst 4-game playoff stretch.
What was-
listen? It was the first time in 52 years that a Boston Celtic has taken over 15 shots a game and shot under 40%.
He shot 30. He was 31%. Right?
He shot 30% for those 4 games.
This is
and 15% from 3.
This is the most amazing thing. So game 3, 4, because of 5 games. Game 3, 8 of 22. You'll never see a performance like this again.
7 of 22.
7 of 22 the
7 of
next
22.
week, and then it was 6 of 19 or 6 of 20 last night.
It was terrible. It was worse. It was
Each
abysmal.
game he was worse.
It was abysmal.
It's like,
One
hey-
assist last night.
It's like, hey Kyrie, how's that leadership going? I love. Did you see that one?
The meme you said
the
was
meme.
perfect.
Yes.
the meme saying
Thanos.
Thanos and LeBron.
The word to bring you back to me.
Back to me.
I love it.
The thing is, I've felt for a few years, and even now, the Celtics would be better served to let Kyrie go because they still have Marcus Smart and Rozier.
Yeah.
And then to find somebody else who wants to play there and not break up their team for Anthony Davis.
This is so
Because
funny.
keep themselves
Yeah,
deep.
and I think Gordon Hayward is going to be significantly better. Paul George showed us that's a 2-year injury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely
That's
it
a
is.
2. I mean, not Gordon Hayward's no Paul George, but he is really good.
But he's an all-star.
Yeah,
he's an all-star level
24
player.
point a game guy.
And when he and Tatum and Brown aren't
There's too many guys in one spot.
Well, the problem is that it's with Kyrie sucking up all of those shots and shooting so poorly, they never see the ball, so they feel they have to chuck it rather than pass it, and then it hurts all 3 of their games.
I really want to
So-
see those 3 guys play without him next year.
So,
I mean, they were
time out, guys.
they were Eastern Conference Final team last year.
They win 50 games. They only won 49 this year.
I probably should have said at the beginning I was trying to back end sports to the back of the show. I know I should have been a little bit more specific
You
about.
started with soccer.
No, he did. I did.
I asked for clearance.
I did. I should have been like, listen, sports off the table. We'll do it at the back end because I want to start trying to split actually the show for
Okay.
sports and everything else. But I know that's
we'll come
cool.
back- we'll come back-
We'll
we can
come
go
back to
back
that.
with that.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah,
But
the thing was, I was trying to start with a team that's not playing. That's so we can save that for later.
But I think you're absolutely right though. The best of the people are available there with assets. It's got to be the Celtics because of draft picks and some players that they can get back. Or again, like
about
I
Philly?
said, super. Well, the problem with Philly is that Tobias Harris and Butler are both free agents.
Yeah.
So they don't have any depth.
Orlando could be a good fit.
No,
What are you giving up?
Clifford, he's going to play for Steve Clifford.
He will play for Steve Clifford. All right. So, my topic is.
We'll come back to that because
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll definitely come back to that.
Although
because
super petty would be New Orleans.
Oh,
It would
yeah,
be
I know.
amazing.
Disney just announced that there's going to be 8 films for Marvel
They did.
until 2022. They didn't announce any titles. They actually announced the full slate of movies all the way up dating to what 2027 or some shit.
That's how far they have it planned out
Yeah,
right
they had
now.
all like
10
Disney
years, at least
in
about-
general. They pushed back Avatar by another year. Again, Fox has already been doing that for like 5 years.
Yeah.
They pushed back Avatar another year, and then they announced, "Hey, here's a string of Pixar movies untitled. Here's a string of Disney movies untitled, and here's 8 Marvel movies untitled."
Global domination coming by
Literally,
2030.
like-
By 2030.
We need to work out a research paper if Disney's actually communist or not.
I don't know, man. It's kind of like,
That's the odd thing. When you get to super monopolies and communism, it's like, what's the
difference, right?
I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, wait a minute. I'm seeing a lot of hammers and sickles going up.
That's
you
the
know?
thing is when they talk about it, it's like whatever the true neutral is. When you go too far right or too far left, and they go around the block and they end up being the same
right,
thing.
the same thing. Like, because I mean, first off, like, given the free market, they're like, oh, yada yada yada. But like, we're allowing a lot of monopolies to happen. I mean, with Time Warner and all those things merging with AT&T and then buying out every like.
There's different types of monopolies, and there's ones that are actual, like the ownership of television stations and the ownership of newspapers. Yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
because that's
yeah.
limiting the people of the voice. The Disney one, it's like, oh, they
Well,
own
social
Fox. That one I see. Yes, they're having a foothold and control of IP of they own Predator, Alien, Avatar, Marvel. They own Pixar and all that. So, and also they're remaking their animated series as live action ish movies. But there's still the fact that anybody can still make a movie. It's like, now you may not get the budget, but there's nothing that the ability to make an independent
because
movie or
of
make
Disney,
a movie
you're
you want
literally
is greater.
Disney
People
is
are going to
literally
be making movies
destroyed.
on like allowances.
Well, I mean, they've
Well, no, Disney
been
has
doing
destroyed
that.
the mid-budget, the low-budget. Well, mid-budget rom-com slash.
That's not them. That's happened over the last 20 years.
Yeah,
though.
but Disney's really contributing to that in the last.
But
10,
they're the
15
but the
years.
reverse of
John's
that is
just
they can actually
butthurt
help
about
it.
romantic comedies not coming out.
I know. Oh my god, I love Longshot. It was so good.
I watched The Ugly Truth again the other day. That's the one I love.
Is that the one with
Gerard
Gerard
Butler,
Butler
yeah.
and Katherine
Yeah,
Heigl? Love that movie.
That's the
I love how I can
bounty
name
hunter.
drop people
That's the
in a
bounty
fucking
hunter one.
rom-com.
That's the bounty hunter one.
No, he does like a little
that's
news
from
show.
Jennifer
Kind of.
Okay,
he-
that's
Yeah,
the
I like that one.
Gerard Butler has like a
Gerard
news-
Butler from P.S. I Love You, Gerard Butler.
Yeah, like he has like a radio show
From
slash.
300. Show some respect.
Plays a really crass like radio show host or like TV show
Okay,
host.
yeah, now I remember.
And he's like
What
he's all-
John's aspiring to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's the thing. It's like 300 and White House down and Olympus is down.
Olympus has
Yeah.
fallen.
Olympus has
White House
fallen.
down was the
London.
Channing Tatum knockoff.
Channing Tatum one.
Yeah,
and Olympus has fallen and London has fallen.
I didn't watch London.
That was
Olympus was
pretty
great
good.
though.
That was-
Law Abiding
Olympus was-
Citizen
let
was
me-
my
Yeah.
favorite.
I love Law Abiding
Oh,
Citizen.
that was so good.
Which with the other
Jamie Foxx.
the other president
The guy
from
from
the
White
other
House
one.
Down. Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to say what guys. All right, so we.
By the way, from Olympus has fallen, the fantastic thing. I fuck stupid ass kids in movies. My favorite line in Tombstone is "damn kid" when he scares them right before going to that. Right as Olympus has fallen, when they're starting to expend plot time on this kid, it's like God damn it. And then boom, he's free. He's gone. He's off the fantastic. Great writing. Best moment in any action movie.
Get it out of
ever.
the way.
Get rid of the kid.
Listen, we're gonna get to writing talk here very, very, very soon, actually. But no, I was gonna say, what do you guys think? Well, I was gonna say let's list off the 8 movies that you think are gonna be the Phase 4. I'm thinking, so it's already gonna be what? We're gonna have a Black Widow movie,
Eternals.
Eternals,
Black Panther 2.
Yes.
Black
that
Panther
comes
2.
Shang-Chi.
Okay, Shang-Chi. Yeah, that is gonna be one day.
They
That
already
one.
done
That one
They're already
might be
casting for that, right?
Yeah, they've got a director on
So
that
are they
one
gonna
as well.
are they gonna try and do the same method they just did, where it all works into one big baddie?
You have
Possibly
to.
they have to.
You
I
have
mean,
to. If it ain't broke, don't fix
So
it.
let's see.
But I
Actually,
think it'll be different though.
Doctor Strange 2 is another one.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel 2
Do you think they'll try
eventually
and
happen,
reunite?
but that could be the Phase 5 though.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do Fantastic Four? Or are
Well,
they
that's
just gonna
the
let
thing.
That's gonna be Phase
Well,
5.
hold on. Also, Guardians of the Galaxy 2,
Guardians 2,
Three.
three will be.
With Thor as Guardians of the Galaxy. They're also they're talking about Beta Ray Bill for that one.
Oh,
Yeah, they announced that Beta Ray Bill's
So-
gonna be.
so I'm
who they've
so
referenced
cool.
a couple of times
Because
already.
he was actually he was cut from the script for part 2. They actually was going to be in part 2, but they.
I would love to see him with Stormbreaker.
because Stormbreaker's there
Yeah.
exactly. So, but then again, Thor gave Cap Mjolnir to take back. Actually, I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
the
no,
first
no,
time.
yeah,
it is.
The first time I didn't catch that, and then I'm like, oh wait. Is he taking it as his weapon now?
No.
Oh, Captain America
No,
has
he's putting
Mjolnir.
him back.
He's taking it. 'Cause that was one thing I didn't like. That first time I saw him, I was like, wait a second. He literally just doomed that universe's Thor was out.
No, he took it back. He left the Aether in the.
Yeah,
in the,
he goes back and takes back to that time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the other 2 movies? Eternals.
You have the Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Captain
Yeah.
Marvel sequels.
Yeah,
Did we do
And
Doctor
Guardians.
and Guardians, and then Eternals, Shang-Chi.
Another Spider-Man, probably.
Oh, the Spider.
Home Sweet
There
Home.
will be.
There's
one.
gonna be another Spider-Man.
There's got to be
Home
another
Sweet
one.
Home.
Yeah, that's no. That's
I mean,
the same.
Homecoming, Far From
well,
Home. there'll be
Sony is
another.
pushing to have like.
Don't
3
crush me. I'm good
They
at
have a
catching mosquitoes.
contract. No, that's 8 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah,
No,
that's 8.
there's
And there's
Sony.
gonna be more.
I think Sony. Thank God, Venom was successful enough that
They can hold on to their own universe.
well, they're going to try and build the stupid thing that they're doing without him, which is fine. Go ahead, waste your
Morbius.
money.
Carnage
But
and-
I think that if Marvel can like, look, we're giving you a check, you're doing nothing, you're getting a lot of money, and then with the success of Spider-Verse, even though, and
oh, they just tweeted out something about that yesterday.
is that if that continues on, then that can be their big money maker. Look, you live in the animated world, you do your thing over there, make lots of money. Cash checks from Marvel and let that other thing exist, and you'll get the reflected glory because people will go see
At least the kids will be
the
happy.
other stuff.
So
And that's all that matters for the
well, no,
kids.
the thing is, what they just came out. The directors just came out and announced about Endgame that they did in fact create new timelines in everything. So
Well, they have the
Well,
possibility
now
for
we
the
had-
new
that was
timelines.
again.
And
That was
Spider-Man came out
said.
confirmed.
They specifically said that once the stones were gone from that point
Yeah,
forward.
now they can do new timelines.
And now, yes.
Yeah, they can
At
do
no
new
point
timelines,
there were
so-
new timelines in the movie. It's just now it can
Now-
start.
now they
now
have them.
those
Yeah,
things.
'cause, they basically all but confirmed new timelines and new universes
well,
with
well,
the
again,
Spider-Man trailer.
but
The
again,
multiverse.
but again, the character that they're doing that with is the one that you can trust the least about.
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
true.
So that's what makes it even
Mysterio.
more fun.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting what they do with that. That was a great Spider-Man trailer, by the way.
Oh,
You
it's
ever watched that?
fantastic.
So when he's swinging over the Grand Central Terminal, because that station is the post office.
what was it?
Well, it's got the Heroes of New
Elementals.
York, but behind that, they're doing construction on the building, and that's where Stark Tower was. So, which was sold at the end of Homecoming.
I didn't catch that.
Oscorp.
Oscorp.
But Tony wouldn't sell. In theory, we're thinking that Tony wouldn't sell to another guy who's selling military weapons. So I think that's been the back door for the Baxter building. The Baxter building.
Oh yeah,
Fantastic Four Baxter buildings, but that's what they aimed it for because they sold. They're using, I think, the Spider-Man movies to kind of play that out, but at
Like
the
glue
same time,
things together.
Yeah, well, yeah, because in the last movie, he sold Stark Tower in
Moving Day.
A Moving Day, Homecoming.
Yeah.
That was Stark Tower being sold. Who did he sell to? We don't know. And then in the new movie, he said there's being construction being done. They're fixing up the building because a lot of shit got.
But I mean, again, in timeline wise, that was several years ago, and this is 5 years after that.
Yeah, 5 years after the fact. So
it could be an entire
that
redo.
property would have gone underwater by now. Jeez, terrible buy.
Yeah, not enough tenants for 5 years. I mean, gosh, so many foreclosures on rental properties.
And with that all going on, we're going to backdoor this into with Endgame going out there and literally crushing and decimating the box office. I still don't think it
closer and
I still
closer
don't
to
think
Avatar.
I don't think it catches up to Avatar.
What?
It's gonna
really
miss
hope
it by,
so.
It's gonna miss it by like.
It will be so heartbreaking.
No, what's gonna happen?
2
No,
billion in
this
2
is-
weeks. Are you serious?
11 days.
It took
11
Avatar
days it
40
passed Titanic.
Yeah, but look,
something
it's
to get
already
to what,
it's already
It took
2.7?
Titanic 47 days.
It's
to get
not. I don't know
Okay.
if there's a. I don't. I mean, it has a long shot of catching Star Wars.
Are you
Force
guys trying to go
Awakens.
see the movie again?
I've
I
done
haven't
my
seen it.
job.
I've only
Yeah.
seen it once now.
I haven't seen an IMAX yet. That's my last.
We got to
one.
contribute,
yeah.
guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
doing my
absolutely.
bit. I'm using all of my
I'll buy a
AMC
row
A
out.
Plus
What's
toward
going,
Avengers.
no, listen, what's going to happen though is, I mean, it's gonna. It's. I don't know if it's gonna catch Force Awakens, as far as
Domestic.
domestic.
Oh,
Because Force Awakens did 946 or
yeah.
something like that.
nine.
Something
basically
ridiculous,
950.
and then it's already kind of capped out in China. And you got a bunch of new movies, literally starting
Still
this
hasn't
week.
opened in Russia.
Detective
Starting,
Pikachu.
starting this week,
Yeah.
there's a new release.
Did
Huge
you
movie.
see Detective Pikachu leaked on YouTube yesterday?
Yeah, I
haven't-
it
that's
was
good.
amazing.
I haven't
It is
watched it
so
yet.
good.
That's
It was a fake movie, right?
Oh, now you're messing it up for the people listening.
Yeah, come on.
It was
You
it
gotta
was like the
find-
first 3 minutes of the movie, and then it's just Pikachu dancing for an hour and a half.
Oh, is it really?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was, it was
Ryan
like
Reynolds leaked that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was like Pikachu's version of the Rickroll. It was pretty
Yeah,
good.
it was really
And,
nice.
dude, I woke up at 4:00 in the morning randomly, and I'm like, "Oh, they leaked the movie." I boom it to my TV. I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to watch this. This is high quality."
It is. It's terrifically
Got
high.
me.
and then I'm so it's like, how long? And then I just scrub through, and it's like, nope, the entire hour and a half.
I did that
just a
too.
loop dance
I was
move.
like,
It's like different. I mean,
Oh, wow. So he
it's
put
like
a lot of
It's like
effort into it.
20 minutes
Of
before it
Pikachu getting
loops.
down.
So a small part of that went into, came out of the budget.
Yes.
I think they'll be all right. That movie's gonna make like
Oh yeah,
a
no,
lot of
it's,
money.
it's
I think
gonna
it makes
kill.
100. I think 100 million this opening weekend.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
And I think
be a really good number.
Endgame will probably make about 75, maybe 70.
So what do you think you'll get to? Do you think you'll get like 1.5, 1 point, or 2.5, 2.6, and
Yeah,
then
it's just it's gonna be one of those like. But then they're
I'd
gonna,
rather it be farther
and
than
then
closer.
they'll try to re-release it during.
see,
they're gonna try to
Memorial Day-
re-release it around not Christmas time, but they're gonna.
No, they
re-release
will because there'll be the Oscar push thing. Earlier December.
I
But
want I want $3 billion.
the
yeah.
Memorial Day is going to bounce it back up. Memorial Day will get it about 300, 400 worldwide that week.
I feel
And
like there's
it'll come
5
close.
Memorial Days.
It's
on
gonna
the
be
calendar.
really close, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, given it was, it's doing very well, but like, it's already capped out in China.
I
It's
don't
not gonna-
care. I don't care if it beats
All
it by a
of, by the way,
buck.
all of his first time box office guesses that are recorded on
Have been wrong.
podcasts have been wrong.
They've been wrong.
I'm hoping it's going to be the case of this time too.
But I'm just saying it was very front loaded, 11 days, and then we have a slew. So it's gonna have to play. It's gonna have really good legs for the rest of the summer.
Well,
in order to
again,
catch
it's
up.
it's,
See-
it's 700 million is a ridiculous amount of money, but it has 2 months to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it can slow
See-
roll into that.
Yeah. See, my thing is when I was looking back at the numbers for Avatar, it was slow to start off, and then it
had legs.
yeah, and then it kept
International.
going.
That movie made what I think alone in the international because they crushed
Yeah.
between China and I think the U.S. It made like only like 30, not even 30% of its actual total.
Well,
box office.
Japan was a huge market.
That
for it as
movie
well.
Avatar made like I think almost It made $2 million of its money internationally.
Well,
2 billion,
it had been
2
the
billion, excuse me, 2 billion.
IMAX record holder for 20 years until Endgame. But the thing about that is, it's again, this discussion about Avatar beats the discussion I had earlier this week about Avatar, the most I've ever discussed it since I saw it, which is now like 4 or 5 minutes. There's nothing. It's like it's a visual, stunning movie, and I saw it the first time. It's like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I had no interest of ever seeing it again.
really.
Yeah, if no Smurfs and Pocahontas.
It's Pocahontas. Yeah, exactly.
It's Fern Gully,
That's exactly what it is.
and now it's like they're doing 4 more of these, and it's like,
Yeah, it's not out to number
But-
5.
Yeah, see, domestically it made. I mean, internationally it made $2 billion, and it made $760 million here in the States. but it didn't do that well in China. Like initially in China,
obsessed with China.
Well, no, really. When it comes to
well, I mean, there's a billion people.
there's a
that buy
billion
tickets.
people in China. It actually, you know what? It didn't even release in
Some
China.
of them can't afford to buy tickets.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like it's
Okay, excuse
Avatar
me.
2 will get a lot of people going to see that the first week, but then once it's similar and everything,
Okay,
it's
excuse
like
me. Excuse me. It made 204 million in China, and this was what, almost 10 years ago at this point.
15
It's been-
years ago.
Has it been that long already?
2004, 2005.
No, Avatar came out like 2008.
I don't know about that one.
2009.
I could be
Excuse
wrong.
me. Boom. I just looked at it.
It's only been 10 years.
Yeah.
Iron Man came out before Avatar.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
Which
I wouldn't have guessed that. I thought it'd be like 2007.
Speaking of Iron Man, I rewatched that the other morning just out of
original
boredom.
one.
I'm like, let me see where it all came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Holds up well.
Oh no, it does
Yeah,
a very
well.
good job. It does a very good
Dude,
job.
Avatar made 100 million in Australia.
Oh, so no, I have.
That's
I have
unheard of.
No,
So-
it was a visual it does the thing that happens all the time.
Made 175 in France.
There's a 3D movie that looks really good, and then everybody thinks, "Oh, you want to watch 3D?" No, we want to watch movies that look good. This just happened to be in 3D.
So, well, I had a theory because I used Box Office Mojo, and I have a theory, and it's all about Slovenia.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So I was looking through it, and all these top movies do really well in Slovenia. So I'm gonna need everyone watching in Slovenia.
It's
Well, sorry,
Slovenia. Avatar only made 1.8 million in Slovenia.
Yeah, that's a
That's
lot
a lot
for
of money.
Slovenia.
That's a lot of money for Slovenia.
Yeah.
They don't have
Yeah.
they don't have that many people.
Yeah. So if they go see it, it's like winning Ohio in the presidential elections. You know?
It's the swing state.
It's Florida.
It's the swing
state.
country.
It's a
Yeah.
swing country for
Yeah.
box office.
Like, for example, hold on. So, just for comparison's sake, so it made between China and U.S. it made roughly 9.9 billion or 9.9 million or 990
Avatar?
million. Yeah, Avatar.
Okay.
0.99 billion.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry, math is not working in my head right now. But it made $990 million between China and the United States alone, and then that means it made almost $2 billion everywhere else.
1.8.
That's insane. Like that doesn't happen. So, I mean,
Well,
Slovenians in the
again,
seats, man.
it's
you look at Endgame, for example.
it was because it was 3D and it looked amazing, and there were a lot of people who it's like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
yeah. It was
why
like
we want
the
to go see
first,
things.
the first.
For example, in China, in the rest of the world, basically, Endgame has only made $1 billion. It's not going to make another $800 or $1 billion.
It's
not
so
with that attitude right there, John.
Yeah, come on.
But it's
Endgame deserves this record, and you know it.
does.
like
Yeah,
12
yeah.
days.
I'm not rooting against them. I'm just saying-
But it's like that's 12 days.
Yeah,
it's
but-
12 days.
no, but
It took it 47 days
Avatar
to
had
get there.
Avatar had the benefit of coming out in December.
What
And then he went through December, January, February, and March, which back then, 10 years ago, there was a lull. There was no movies to really. No, like
Just so everybody knows, the first time anybody realized that February was a time to release a movie was when Daredevil was released. It made $40 million that Valentine's Day weekend, and I think it topped out at about 110, 120.
And then Deadpool 2 or Deadpool came out.
Well, that wasn't, but that wasn't until after all of the Grey's movies came out in February, and you're like, oh no, people actually go see a movie. Yes, because nothing has been released. If you put something out there, people will
someone's
watch.
gonna- yeah.
Deadpool got released on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, were they
the
just
first
at
one,
700?
and it made 170 million.
Oh, and again, that was after all the
Smashed those records.
after the Grey's
750
movies.
total, right?
Something like that, and then Alice, the first Alice in Wonderland was like in April, March, late March, early April, and then they realized, oh, wait,
Well, no.
if we do something
The first
there.
movie to do really well in March was 300. 300 on its opening weekend made like 70 million, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, you can release a movie in March," and then it started going from there.
no one was doing nothing in Texas.
They weren't.
But no, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like up until Avatar, like back when Avatar was released, like no movies came out in January. It was dead air.
Well, that was the benefit
and it
of
had
Titanic.
legs. That's why Titanic
Came out
and,
December 17th, 1997. It was the #1 movie from December until late March, early April of that year, when
So-
it tied with Man in the Iron Mask, the other Leonardo
so what-
DiCaprio.
so
And the reason I know
what-
that I saw Titanic and Tomorrow Never Dies.
So
on the
was
same
what I'm
day.
trying to say
I was
is
in the
that-
theater for like
nice,
7
yeah.
hours.
So with what I'm
ouch.
trying to say, when Avatar and Titanic came
A lot of
out, it
ice
had
that day,
no
huh?
competition whatsoever, and Endgame is going to have a slew of comp now.
Yeah,
for the rest
no,
of the summer.
they got a lot of
So
things chipping at
it's
their
got
thing.
a lot chipping away. So like,
but it has a rewatchability.
and that's why I'm going
That
into the
Avatar
next segment. Now, starting tomorrow with Pikachu coming out, it's going to be the start.
And
official-
Tolkien.
Tolkien.
Oh, yeah.
the unofficial.
I read that was a dull movie.
It's unofficial.
So it's like
too.
the
not
Silmarillion,
associated-
right?
It's not official. It's not associated with the family. They didn't sign off on it. What I'm saying though is tomorrow's the start. The unofficial,
i.e., they didn't get paid for it.
it used to be official. Like, the official summertime used to be Memorial Day weekend. It was the start of the summertime, like movie season, whatever. But now it's basically May.
Yeah, Spider-Man was the one that pushed that.
Yeah, so
at the beginning of May.
I told you guys to go ahead and make a list. I gave y'all 16 movies that are major releases, and I asked y'all to go ahead and list off what you thought would be the number 1 to 10 worldwide and domestic grosses. I had everyone do that, and
He asked everyone to do that.
Yeah, I asked everyone to do that. And
No, he beat me.
yeah, I beat him. I woke up this morning like, do it.
9.
I forgot to tell you. Just spend 2 minutes to do it.
Well, it was just in your original list that it didn't have Avengers on it.
I didn't. It's Avengers in springtime.
No, but you
April.
said the year.
Huh?
You said for the year, or you just
No,
made
no. This is for summertime.
Oh, summer.
Yeah,
only.
yeah.
Oh,
This is
summer
summer
only.
continuing future.
That's why I didn't include Avengers.
Okay, summer only.
Because technically, because that movie
That'd be
got
an
released
easy-
on April 27th, it's a springtime
No,
movie.
no. I was.
And an easy layup. So
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Like, fuck
it's
you.
like the top if.
because
At the end of the year, the top 5 movies in the
All
end of
gonna
the
be
year
Disney.
are, it might even be 6. So you got Avengers, Captain Marvel, you'll have Toy Story 4, you'll have Star
Spider-Man.
Wars,
Star Wars.
and then you'll have Spider-Man will be close, and then what's
Lion
the other?
King.
No,
Lion
no, no,
King.
no,
Lion
Lion
King.
King.
No, Spider-Man's not going to be close. Spider-Man's going to go to $1 billion.
yeah,
No, that's what I'm saying.
I-
It'll be like 7th, though. It's not going to be in the top 5.
I don't know.
Remember,
The
every movie,
first one only did in the sevens.
doesn't matter though. Every movie that piggybacks after a Avengers movie always makes $1 billion.
Not Ant-Man.
No, untrue and completely.
Yeah, not
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man, not
and,
Ant-Man,
and
not
Ant-Man and the Wasp both
Yeah,
did not. It
yeah,
was
neither
the
of 'em.
it was the first one after the period of time.
Yeah, but Ant-Man also wasn't exactly. He's
But
not Spider-Man.
but Spider-Man
He's
coming
not
off of
Spider-Man.
this
Hey,
movie,
qualify
though.
your wrongness all you want.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Ant-Man's bigger than Spider-Man in the movie.
Movie. Ha. But I mean, Black Panther before, Captain Marvel before, and then Iron Man 3 also.
Well, Iron Man
all
3
made-
benefited because it was the first one and it was also the only one released that year.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, all those movies made over $1 billion. There are only solo movies that make $1 billion as well. So
I think Spider-Man could make $1 billion just based off the fallout from Endgame. Like we
That's
have
what I'm
to
thinking.
know what's going on.
like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also, and also
No, there's
Captain,
a-
excuse me, Captain America: Civil War made $1 billion, but that was basically Avengers 2.5.
That's Avengers 2.5.
Yeah.
So,
everyone's
you
in
know,
it.
Everyone's in it. Everyone was flocked.
Well,
to
we
the
thought
theater.
we knew what everyone was.
Yeah, this is very true.
And
So
that's the thing,
anyways-
is you're talking about looking at Iron Man and that holds up, and it's like I've seen some of the clips of Civil War and everything, and at that moment it's like, man, I can never believe that anything like this would ever happen. Oh yeah, no, you're just playing with toys over there. The big boys table is Endgame.
yeah.
I mean, even Infinity War jumped up that a huge amount. And you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, and
So
it's like,
for-
nope.
And
we
this
get more.
is actually in order for everyone that's listening.
Well, Eternals. Here's the thing. So Eternals is supposed to be in the way past, which probably sets up the Celestial appearance because that's how the Eternals and the Deviants came around.
Yeah.
Which goes to their first appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy, setting up more cosmic stuff. Because
well,
also one of the
we're
things
gonna get the reason I think
James
the
Gunn
reason why I
wanted to
think-
add Silver Surfer previously.
Well, also that's the reason why I think personally, what I think is the reason why Thor is going to be in the next. They threw him into the next Guardians is because Adam Warlock's going to be in that movie more than likely.
Everybody
That's-
says
that's
that.
what
I
they're
think. I
teasing
think
at, yeah.
yes. I think that's a continuous tease. I think
Nah.
that's.
I
I think
would
that's
like
Matt
it,
Damon
though.
and Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, no. I genuinely think he's going to be in the next movie. And no one on that team could even really do much against Adam Warlock, but Thor could.
Well,
I'm
but
just
the
saying,
thing is they
even up the odds.
But
in
they
general.
teased Adam
Thor
Warlock
right
in the
now.
first one, and then everybody got all excited. And
But
they
yeah, but-
did nothing, and then they did it again
Yeah,
in
but
the second one.
But yeah, but one of the 12 stingers in the end of Guardians 2 is literally.
Which again,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
why
I'll call him Adam. It's
which
Adam.
which is why I think it's just going to be sitting there for later, for
you
much
think James
later.
Gunn's
There's
gonna
no
Well,
way they
well,
can
Oh
do
no,
that.
I'm not
be
saying that James
fair-
Gunn won't use it. I'm just
I'd be
saying I don't
pissed.
think it'd be the next one.
Well, no. Well, no. Thor needs like a Phoenix Rising moment a little bit.
Well, I mean,
though.
that-
They're bringing
again,
in Beta Ray Bill. They're
that's
probably going to
that's the
both fight them
setup for
together.
that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just saying Adam Warlock would be a good enough foil for the characters to have to deal with, and Thor's the only one in those
And oddly,
of the Guardians that could actually do anything against Adam Warlock.
well,
so,
of the grouping with of everybody's thinking is it going to be Fantastic Four, is it going to be X-Men? It could be the Shi'ar, and so you could bring the Imperial Guard, which is Gladiator, because
I
it might
love
be
Gladiator.
they might be backdoor setting up the Annihilators with Thor or Beta Ray Bill, Silver Surfer, and then the Annihilation Wave, and that's how some of those characters.
That'd
'Cause
be
I
really
think
cool.
I think the other thing is with Eternals and Guardians, they're going to go further out into cosmic. I think that's where Captain Marvel's next movie is going to be. Is going to be
absolutely.
further out there.
But Captain Marvel
Well,
could very well take
Black-
place between Captain Marvel and Endgame.
And then Black Panther 2 with the earthquake in the ocean could set up for the Namor
Mm-hmm.
as an ambivalent character. And then, of course, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood, and doing what they're doing with that. Eternals is way in the past. Black Widow movie's almost assuredly going to be a prequel movie. The interesting thing...
Alternate timeline.
He had to give back. He had to give back the Soul Stone. So when you say soul for a soul,
there's no
give back a soul.
God, this is of all the things. No.
You don't know that?
Hawkeye
would be
plainly
garbage.
says, Hawkeye says, hey, Thor, get your hammer. Go talk to the guy in the cape.
Yeah,
It's not, no.
Returns, if he returns the Soul Stone like he had to do, literally, he goes a soul for a soul. So to get the Soul Stone back, he has to get back a soul.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
That could very well. Okay,
It's
He could
just
just give it
going
to
back.
Thanos.
that could.
He just returns it.
He could just give it to Thanos, couldn't he? There you go. Hey, you're going to need this later. It'd be pretty awkward if Steve showed up to Red Skull being like, hey, I remember you.
Well, no, it's just like,
How
well,
have
the
you
thing
been
is,
for the last
but the
70
thing
years?
he doesn't even have to do it. He could just fly by and chuck it
Yeah,
into the planet.
it just
He doesn't
seems
have
like
to do
that's where it
anything.
goes. That's its resting place.
In a theory, and just for the sake of the fact it's
That
comic
would-
book,
that
for the
could-
sake of a comic book, they could easily just be like, okay,
Are we talking Game of Thrones writing or like good writing? Because Game of Thrones, you could like swap them back, but that's not what's going on in this thing. You
don't know that?
Because
We
it
don't know
completely reduces. Yes, we do. Because one, the
would-
directors
it would.
said it.
We get-
They said that it's a,
do you trust the directors on everything
First
they're saying
off,
right now?
first off,
No.
either
They're
you
liars.
either take the information that they told you in the movie, which is like it's a for good. It's
I
not
know,
to-
I know,
that's
Jerry. I know you love to use the whole good writing, bad writing thing, but to be honest with you,
No, I love Scarlett Johansson
for the
more
last-
than anything
for the
else in
last
life.
2
I think we all do.
And the fact that they killed her
For the
off
last 2 weeks-
crushes
okay,
my soul.
That's amazing. But for the last 2 weeks, the Russo brothers have literally been having to come out in interviews explaining the whole use of time.
Only because people don't understand what they said.
I get that, but I'm just saying they've been having to explain bit by bit, and they actually don't.
Well, I think they had to do that with Inception,
and
too, right?
neither one of them even.
God,
agree,
that one I
and neither
completely-
Russo. Oh, excuse me. Neither Russo agree on their usage of
Which I like even more because it's like anything that's outside of the movies doesn't count.
Yeah.
Because it's not in the context of the movie. The people making it tell you, oh, this is why it should be good. No, then you failed at that. No, that is a good writing, bad writing thing. It's when you sacrifice a soul, she is now dead. There's no more.
that stone has the power to bring her back. If you
No,
were
it
to swap
doesn't.
it out.
Because it's an ethereal thing, not a physical thing. Her body is gone now.
Well, we'll find out now, won't we?
Yeah, and it'll be a prequel, probably setting up the blonde-haired Black Widow or whatever they want to do with that, or who knows, maybe the Hulk was successful and we don't know.
He said he tried.
He
to
tried.
bring her back.
He tried to bring her back, and nobody where she was or where she could be might not have been anybody with the opportunity to.
She's like stuck in a coffin somewhere.
Well, she could be in the
Oh,
past.
wait, no, she's in Volmir.
Or in the Soul Stone.
She would be in 2014. Well, that's the other thing.
It grows red hair.
No,
Her
so
being in the stone is different than
Yeah, but-
swapping it back.
That would
That's
be
not-
cool.
No, but like in the comic books, the Soul Stone's weird. It's like its own little realm inside of it or something.
Yeah, so I'm saying
like
that's where.
Yeah, so she could be,
There's a scene when they cut it out apparently of the movie when Tony snaps. He goes and sees his daughter,
older.
older daughter. So
No,
they-
his daughter older,
Older.
not his older daughter.
Yeah, his daughter being older. Excuse me. And they cut out the actress from the movie, and she was supposed to have one of those like Thanos having with Gamora.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it worth it? What did it cost you? Everything. I'm just saying,
I don't know
like,
why they cut that out. That would have been
there's very
beautiful.
well she could very well be in the stone or
Because
something
in
along those lines.
in the test screenings, people didn't recognize Harley Keener, so they were more concerned if they wouldn't recognize like older Morgan.
Oh, go blow me,
So
dumb
what I'm trying to
America.
say is
Exactly.
they could very well find a way,
But
comic
no,
book
but again,
way
her-
to have her come back as a
And that's
character.
her soul existing within the stone, which is entirely different. It's like, oh, well, we just give it back, and it's like, no, because then there's no consequences. No, she's dead from that. Now, where her soul is currently residing, that's a proper comic book excuse.
All I know is I want all these movies to add up to Galactus. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I want Doctor Doom to be the major bad. For
Doctor
that.
Doom would have
Yeah.
to be before Galactus. I'm honestly like, I need Galactus so bad, but if it takes 15 years, whatever. It's whatever. It
Exactly.
takes.
It's like Galactus cannot be the immediate next big bad, but I want, for example, like Doctor Doom could very well be like the next Loki.
Anybody but
and be the
Kang.
villain for the next
Well,
five, four.
Anybody
I
would
don't
do
think
it.
they're going to do that.
Anybody but Kang.
I don't think
No more
yeah.
time travel for a while.
Well, so I don't think anybody
No,
gets
no.
that either.
Yeah.
I've been reading a bunch of articles saying, "Ooh, Kang could be how they've set up Kang to be the next." No, fuck that.
Absolutely, they did not
I'd
set
be
up
pissed.
Kang.
No. I would be very upset if he's a villain. No
It's-
time travel.
well, what's the funny-
for at
it's-
least 8 movies.
In pop culture, people are aware of I mean, they weren't aware of Thanos, but people are aware of Galactus, of Doctor Doom, of some of these other ones. But it's like Kang is such an obscure.
He's not a good villain for
It's-
pop culture
Was
wise.
it the Pharaoh, the Scarlet Centurion, Rama Tut, Iron Lad, all of his different versions of him? It's like no.
No. They could very well easily set up Iron Lad and establish him for maybe Phase 9. I'm just saying, like, I don't like him as being the major big bad for the next 4 phases. That'd be awful. But I mean, we'll see what happens. And I mean, I want Doctor Doom. I think that'd be
Having him as a time guardian who occasionally comes in and fucks stuff up for the heroes / villains would be more interesting than an outright villain.
I want MODOK personally, but whatever.
MODOK, I would love to see that. I would love CGI
to see
MODOK.
The big rumor initially before Infinity War came out was that was who Peter Dinklage was playing.
Favorite MODOK.
He would be
hilarious.
That would have
amazing
been
MODOK.
amazing. His head alone looks like MODOK anyway.
Like John would be a great MODOK. I can just picture him floating around in that chair, being arrogant to people.
Tiny little legs.
I would love it. Oh my god, give me MODOK. Marvel.
Well, that's the thing
Disney,
that
Kevin Feige, give us MODOK.
Well, that's the thing that Black Widow
free stuff.
movie could do, because you're talking about Taskmaster being in that. If it's more of an espionage spy thing, then you could get into the AIM MODOK thing.
The thing is, given what they did and how they've explained the timeline now, so basically when Steve goes back and lives his life with Peggy, that creates a new timeline. That's not happening.
So this is outside of the movies that they said this. So you're taking this?
huh?
Yeah, this is outside the movies.
Yeah, they establish they have they fractured timelines. When he did that, when he goes back in the past, he is not in the current timeline anymore.
No.
They created new.
It's not. Well, the article I read, that's not what they were saying at all.
They said he had to make another jump to get back to that timeline with the PIM particles.
Yeah,
So
they're literally
that he already had.
As far as I understood it, it's still they were saying that it's all still the same. It's just that it's the possibility for new timelines.
no,
Yes.
Yeah, it's not.
Tell him to go to the back door.
It's not as if there is a different timeline as soon as he did that, because that doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
It would only be if there's now new timelines.
Which
I
is-
think there are new timelines.
Which is
yeah,
what,
now there's a possibility of new timelines.
from when the stones were destroyed, because that's what also the Ancient One was saying, is when one was removed, the possibility for the reality to change. Not that it automatically does, but the possibility occurs. But since those were put back in those moments, those are still the same. But once Thanos destroyed them in 2018, now from that point forward, now all the goofiness and everything occurs. Now the weird thing is like, oh, so not all of those things will have timelines in the past the same way that we think that they do or don't do. It doesn't matter. It's like we're not gonna go into a timeline that's thousands of years in the past. It'll just be like the possible Quentin Beck one that is existing.
The beauty of it, guys, is we honestly have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
It's
no.
just
So much
They
fun.
can go so
we
many
can all
different
get
directions.
angry and discuss and debate, and we have all our own ideas of what's going on.
And again, as everybody says, isn't Mysterio's whole thing about conning? So this could
It
all
is.
be
It
part
could
of
all
that,
be.
which is an
Very
even,
well.
even
Yeah, you
funnier
have no
setup.
idea.
Don't do that to me. I'm so excited.
Well, that could be the thing. It's like
that's-
it could be the joke that he is conning it, yet it still does exist.
But you know what happens is that really pissed me off. Is dude, I've had enough of these switches that they've been doing though. Like, oh, gotcha. We're not gonna have the Skrulls be the main villain. Fuck that. Or what they did with the Mandarin.
yeah.
I've had enough of these.
The Mandarin is the
These
worst.
switcheroos
That was-
that
the
they
Mandarin,
pull
the
in.
Mandarin was one. The
That was
Skrulls
really
one
bad.
isn't, because again, we're just identifying with
Well,
that
no.
as exterior
That's
of the
just a small-
Skrull
yeah.
Kree
Well,
thing.
no, the thing is that
we don't. I
when
mean, we're just.
went
It's like,
saw-
oh, well, they're human-like and they're like
Yeah, but they
reptile-like.
definitely,
so we're
went
making
and saw
a
the
they
choice.
movie
definitely
again.
sweep Secret Wars on
I went and saw I went and saw Infinity War again on Monday in 3D.
Did you see him?
And Ben Mendelsohn, and yeah, that's the big thing. They're saying that during the scene when
When
Spider-Man's hugging Ned,
not Genki.
yeah, when he's giving him a hug, you see a teacher there, and it looks just like Ben.
No, it
Mendelsohn.
doesn't just like
It
it
is
is
him.
Ben
Is it
Mendelsohn.
him?
Ben Mendelsohn is in the background as one of the
Yeah,
administrators at the high
yeah.
school
And also-
when Ned and
also
Peter see each other.
And also Howard the Duck is in
Endgame.
carrying
With
a
a Tommy
big,
gun.
yeah,
Tommy
big
gun.
freaking gun.
He's right there when he's like on your left, and they're doing the whole circle thing.
Yeah.
You see Howard the Duck there with a Tommy
Not
gun.
then. As soon as Hope Van Dyne
Excuse me.
reappears in full
Yeah.
size, and then some people in the background run, and they kind of part, and there's like, what? There's a little white. Oh, that's Howard the Duck.
That's
with a big
Howard the
giant gun.
Duck.
Anyways,
Finally done right.
I love how
That was the best cameo
somehow
in the whole movie.
I'm trying to get us to do a list of the top grossing movies
Oh,
of the
yeah,
summer.
yeah, then we
and it
went
still
straight
goes
to Endgame.
right back to fucking Endgame.
Yeah.
God damn it. Anyways,
Because that's still going to make more money than all those other.
well, yeah, it's gonna make more money than any of these movies. It's gonna make more money than
No, my bottom 5 won't even touch Endgame
the bottom
domestically.
5 domestically. Yeah.
No,
So,
it's
anyways, guys,
I mean, nothing else matters after seeing that.
I don't know, man.
All right, so
Okay,
now
go ahead,
I had
Colin,
some
you go ahead and start.
I had some trouble with this because domestically.
Let's go ahead and start
I
with
didn't-
worldwide
I didn't
first.
know- with
We'll
what?
start with worldwide, and then we'll debate
Okay.
domestic.
Okay.
Okay.
So who's going to be your top 10?
My top 10.
Number 1. Start with number 1. Actually, start with number 10.
Start with number 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not clear, but that's totally him. He's right there in the basketball. He's like, "Hey, come on in, guys."
All right, so this is my number 1 on my top 10. Or no, sorry, this is
No, your number
my
10?
last one. My last one on my top 10 is Hobbs.
That's your last one?
That's my last
That's
one.
going to make $1 billion.
Internationally?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, total.
Oh, yeah,
total,
100%.
No,
Worldwide, yeah.
means together.
Yeah.
The last 5, the last,
Are you
Yeah.
saying it like overseas?
the last
Yeah.
3 or 4 fast movies made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Is
Ever,
that
that's-
now domestically it's gonna be different? But go ahead.
ever since
Yeah.
Paul Walker died, they all make $1 billion.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
God, that's actually depressing to know.
That's your unless you want to change it.
Paul
that's-
Walker.
no.
Paul
I'll
Walker's
stick to my script.
terrifically unlikable until he died.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Name what other movie that was even close to being popular that he was in.
Oh, I was gonna say the one with the dogs, but never mind.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But it
down,
was-
like
it was about
7
the
Below or
dogs,
something
though.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
8 Below.
So, 8
Wait,
Below. There you go.
what's the football movie he was in? Was MTV?
He was in a football
Oh,
movie?
no,
that the-
no. Paul Walker's in Varsity Blues.
Yeah, Varsity
Yeah.
Blues.
He's the quarterback.
Yeah,
He's a quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
The injured one though.
The
Right?
I
injured
know.
one, though.
Yep.
He's-
I know, but it's like
People love to see him get hurt.
that's my point.
He's not the beak.
He was in Skulls. He was in the
Some weird movie with Jessica Alba, Into the Blue or
Oh,
something.
Into the
Into the
Blue.
Blue,
That
yeah.
was an answer to a
But
trivia
that was
question that
just
we got
a-
right.
But that
Anyway,
was Jessica Alba.
Okay,
like,
anyway,
front and
so-
center.
I
in
just
the
stared
beginning.
at her the whole
Focus,
movie.
Yeah.
children.
Her
So
birthday.
Hobbs.
Her birthday was this past week.
Hobbs is your 10.
We're so bad
Yeah,
at
and
this.
then Aladdin. Well, no, I did this all domestically. I didn't.
This is like my top 5. Your bottom 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have Josh go.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you
Then I'll
reconfigure
redo it.
this
Yeah,
list
redo
after-
it like
Okay.
After thinking
international.
about
All right, so I'm not going 10 to 1. I'm going 1 to 10 because I don't have it written down. But so I'm going to Lion King number 1. I'm thinking
Worldwide?
I'm thinking that's coming in at like $2 billion,
Really?
or like 1.8. Yeah, Lion King is going to be huge.
I hope so.
It's going to be massive. Number 2, I have Toy Story 4. That's going to be pretty close. I'm thinking Toy Story 2 in the 1.5, 1.6 range, maybe. Probably 1.5. Mm-hmm. All right, then Disney's just running away with it. I think I think maybe probably Spider-Man or Hobbs and Shaw. I have those back and forth around $1 billion each. So probably maybe Spider-Man 3. Maybe it does 1.1. Hobbs.
Spider-Man. Hold on. You got Far From Home in third.
Yeah.
Okay.
$1 billion. And then I got Hobbs and Shaw coming in at $1 billion. I mean, Hobbs and Shaw were the best part of Fast 8.
So you think Hobbs makes more than Aladdin?
I think that's next. I have Aladdin at $900 million.
You don't think Aladdin makes $1 billion?
I think Will Smith's genie might steer
Yeah,
some people
that-
away.
But this is the closest that Will Smith's played Will Smith in close to a decade, though. So I mean, that's going to bring people back.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's
I mean,
like-
I agree with you.
I have them all close. It's not like 900
So what you
million is a
got?
bad run. No. Yeah. So we got that at 5. Then at 6, I'm probably going Detective Pikachu.
Really?
Yeah, with I think that pulls in 750 to 8.
And you got this at 6?
Yeah.
I have it at 6 too, actually.
Yeah, and then let's see where we go from here. Now we're starting to go to the more middle, like $500 million range.
This is where things kind of start to get a little
Yeah,
weird.
this is where it gets hazy.
Yeah.
I think from there we got to go. I think Godzilla can pull off 650.
I think 700.
700,
That's what we talked about a little bit more yesterday. I'm like 750.
There's so many monsters in it, and I think it looks like it's going to be way more action.
And actually, I didn't realize. I completely forgot the first Godzilla from 5 years ago made over 600 million.
Yeah,
worldwide.
and we also everyone knows Godzilla Kong is coming next year, so also people want to get ready for that.
Yeah.
So I got going there, and then from there we got maybe
You mean Captain Marvel 0.5? Kong Skull Island?
yeah. So from there I don't think it's going to do well because it's the last one. Dark Phoenix is probably going to be
Really?
500 million.
You have Dark Phoenix on the list. I don't even have him on mine.
You don't think it's going to make 500 million?
I think
Whoa.
Dark Phoenix. I think Dark Phoenix
Like
would be
Bomb
swept.
Bomb?
I think it's gonna bomb.
Well,
Bomb?
it's not even bomb. It's you look over the X-Men ones have all been diminishing returns,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
500 million would be terrifically happy with
they
that.
would.
Yeah.
They'd be thrilled.
Well, yeah,
with
because
that.
I think I know Days of Future
So-
Past did 740. I think Apocalypse did like what did it 560 or did it hit 6?
Yeah, I don't think it got
Yeah.
to 6.
So I think
I think this movie's gonna end up being
450 to 5.
I think it does
300?
I think there's like 400.
Wow.
Yeah, 350 to 4.
How many am I at? 8?
You're at So wait, you have Dark Phoenix, huh?
At 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then from there, 9 and 10. Oh, no. Go ahead and bump down Dark Phoenix 1 for Men in Black. I missed Men in Black.
Yeah,
9. Okay.
that's gonna do well.
Yeah,
There
no,
you go.
I think Men in Black comes in at 8, and then Dark Phoenix at 9, and then 10. Let's see. People don't really go see horror movies. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood will do okay. It's basically what's going to do better. Oh, no, Angry Birds 2. Way higher, actually.
Time out. I know
You're completely wrong.
Well, yeah.
But first off, isn't Once Upon a Time a fall movie though? It's not
No,
even the summer. It is in the
a summer
summer.
movie.
It's not going to do well.
It's not gonna do. No, it's not gonna do well worldwide. I think
Well,
it does well.
I don't have
I think it does
top
well
10.
domestically.
What, 60 million?
I think it does. I think it does about 100.
No,
I think it does.
no.
100.
The cast that it has.
It doesn't.
Counter.
Leo and Brad Pitt.
Counter.
He is
That's the
terrifically
thing, though,
niche.
yeah.
He's terrifically niche. What's
I think counter programming. They're gonna be adults.
the only
just
people
sick and
that go?
tired.
The only people that go see Quentin Tarantino movies are cinephiles.
Wait, hold on. How much did Inglourious Bastards and Hateful Eight make?
Like, Hateful Eight did not make a lot of money. Inglourious Bastards might have been the last one that was like kind of big, and then
I just think with the cast,
Django made money.
Django made money.
Django
But
made a lot of money.
Django came out on Christmas Day.
Django came out around Christmas. I think Hollywood. I include that in the
I'm
list
looking
because I
up
think
Inglourious Bastards now.
for counter programming, just adults wanting to just get the fuck
Counter
I
programming
think
for a
it's gonna work for
3-hour
someone.
movie.
321 million for Inglourious Bastards.
Is that worldwide?
Yeah,
Yeah.
worldwide.
Yeah.
What is
So,
it
I mean,
domestic?
But I mean, no,
Just do
it's
box office mojo. But I think I have Hollywood on my list.
Angry Birds at 10 though. That's me. Angry Birds.
So
at 10.
Secret Life of Pets is just not there.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I would put him over.
Yeah,
I think,
probably.
Yeah, over Angry Birds.
Yeah, Secret Life of Pets. I have.
Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah, 875.
Oh,
Dude, Secret Life of
875.
Pets
Wow.
is
Whoa.
makes a lot of money.
I would have never guessed.
well,
that.
I think there was it
I never saw
benefited.
it.
It
I never saw
benefited
it.
though. It benefited because it came out within a couple of months of Zootopia. So there might have been a like, hey, I want to see the
Animated animal
Disney
craze.
animal movie, and the parents didn't know, and they took them to the sorry one, and it ended up making a lot of money.
Secret Life of Pets wasn't that bad though.
No, I'm sure it's not. It's not like it's bad.
It's
but
not Zootopia.
Yeah,
good,
they don't
but,
know the difference.
But anyway, so that's your list. So you got Angry Birds.
Yeah,
last.
I guess you can knock Angry Birds off. Secret Life of Pets is going to do better than
you
a lot
got
of these
Dark
movies.
Phoenix.
I don't watch that many kid movies,
So-
unless there's actual children in it, and I want to be
Wait,
stimulated.
did we say anything about Annabelle?
Yeah, you said horror movies don't do that well.
Yeah, no, they
yeah,
don't.
Annabelle.
don't.
No,
But they always make money. That's the
Domestic.
thing.
Oh, they
You can
make
do-
huge.
Yeah, they
amounts
make
of-
stupid amounts of money, but
horror
no,
films? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is the record with 500 million, isn't it?
no, it made more than 500.
Did it? Let me look it up.
Yeah, it made a lot of money.
No, domestically.
but no, they put in like $50 into
Annabelle
it. And they get
3
a huge
could do-
return.
and
That's
they
the
make
thing.
a 500.
I included
million.
Annabelle. Anyways, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give the audience the list that I gave these guys to work with, and so you can play at home.
And everybody's as soon as you mentioned the second one, they're like, "How's that not on the list?"
700 million for it. 700.
Yeah, so-
but I mean that's it. That's
So this
like
is actually,
yeah,
and this is an order.
The trailer for It 2 dropped today.
We have-
did.
we're
It
gonna do
was
looks
all right.
amazing.
Hold on, we're gonna do a live watch. I haven't watched it yet. So here's the order, and actually it's in release. I have Detective Pikachu on this list, John Wick 3, Aladdin, Godzilla, King of Monsters, Rocket Man, which everyone kind of forgot.
Which, by the way, will take all the money that you think people will see Once Upon a Time in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
but that comes out next.
That's what people
No,
will
yeah,
see.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot Rocket Man. That's going to do 7 or 8.
For
100.
Yeah, and that Elton John's on his final tour this year as well.
Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix, Secret Life of Pets 2, Men in Black, Toy Story 4, Annabelle 3, Spider-Man, Lion King, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Hobbs and Shaw, Dora the Explorer, the live-action movie,
That's going to do good too.
Angry Birds 2, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I think is going to end up being a domestic. I think that's a dark horse. But anyways, that's the list for the movies. And honestly, I asked the guys to look. I gave everyone a link to look at the release dates and look at the movies. There might be a dark horse here and there. There's not a single comedy on this list, and there's always at least one comedy that ends up doing very well domestically.
I don't. Well, I would have thought Long
Almost
Shot
every summer.
would have done well.
Yeah,
and
but
it's getting
it got annihilated by Endgame.
brutal.
It literally got eaten alive by Endgame.
Why would anybody release a movie like within that 3-month
I
span?
don't know. I have no.
That's
Well, no,
suicide.
unless you're Pikachu. Why would anyone within the first 2 to 3
You
weeks?
think Pikachu's about to go
Well,
toe-to-toe with Thanos?
you just wait until Memorial Day weekend
They'll release that movie
for whatever.
It could have been counter programming to whatever big live action.
This is a jam-packed year.
It's gonna be the largest movie. This movie's actually gonna end up beating, I think, last year's record breaking. I think the box office total made what, $7 billion. Something ridiculous.
Two of which just from the Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah. Two.
Well, it was at 3.5 from Black Panther and Avengers.
Yeah, between Avengers
four and Ant-Man and Wasp, so it's like 4.2 billion between
alone
them.
from the
3 movies.
3 movies. Yeah. So, Jerry, do you have your list?
They just make one giant-sized check. How does that actually work?
Here, Publisher Clearinghouse.
really
We
big
present you with a large check for $18 billion.
Ship it over here like King
about it
Kong.
For 1
you know?
second.
Ant-Man literally had to grow to receive
Disney
it.
bought Marvel.
To hold it, just even to hold it.
When Disney bought Marvel, they spent $4 billion. That was it. Yeah. And when they bought
That was
Star
it.
Wars,
They also spent $4 billion.
yeah, and 2 movies alone brought that money
Yeah,
back,
brought it back.
immediately.
Well, that's the thing. They were saying that Endgame or Ultron, because that was the first one where they had to like pay the actors, was one of the more expensive movies ever made, and they lessened between Endgame and Infinity War because they split it across the 2 movies. But those movies alone probably cost just under $750 million. So the 4 Avengers movies were probably
marketing is probably $1 billion.
Well, I mean, just making the movies and paying for the actors is probably $1 billion for the 4 Avengers movies, and it's still like fine.
No. I think
Fine, we made the money.
between marketing, making Endgame, Infinity War, and marketing, I think they probably spent about $1 billion.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt
For
that,
those
but I mean,
movies.
they've
All right, so Jerry, your list
they've
for
gone.
worldwide.
They're gonna get 5 back.
so yeah.
I think you probably did your homework a little bit better than these two. But
No, because I didn't.
I had 10 minutes.
Secret
I know,
Secret
I'm
Life
joking.
of Pets thing. I think it'll be Toy Story 4.
Yes, Toy-
and as number 1.
that's what I have.
I'm-
I have Toy
it's a
Story
good
4.
chance.
Yeah,
Good
and
chance.
then Lion King. I think those
I
are
have-
the
no.
top 2.
Yeah.
But
I
I
have
think
Toy Story 4 at
I think
1.
Toy Story 4 will obviously both of them are kids movies and will get a lot of that. And
Right.
I mean,
Right in
Lion
the
King,
feels.
Lion King's even older because that was 94,
so
so
that's-
that's 25 years since that came
Yes,
out.
so that's the thing. We've had another Toy Story. Do you think not seeing Lion King in forever helps it or hurts it? Like people have it like they're
No,
freaking out over this.
Well, I mean, there are some people
parents-
it's like who don't even realize that there was an animated movie
Yeah.
too, though. But and they did what they need to do. They got James Earl Jones playing Mustafa.
Yeah, that's
but I think those are the top 2, and between one way or the other, I don't know, but it'll be those are top 2. And honestly, I think the top 5.
What's your wild guess for the gross? Just ballpark it. Do it. I know you hate gun to your head stuff, but do it.
I think both of them. I think both of them are going to be right at $2 billion.
You think?
So $1 billion each.
No,
Or-
like
So
both.
Oh, both.
Close.
Wait. So you think Toy Story 4 is going to gross almost $900 million more than Toy Story 3?
It's the last one.
That's what they said about Toy
I
Story
thought 3
3,
was the last one.
Yeah.
It was, 3 was supposed to be the
I
last
thought
one.
2
but-
was the last
Well,
one.
I mean, the significant actors are dying off at this point. I mean, this is Don Rickles' last role in Toy Story 4.
And you think so? Now you think he's going to add that much to its overall worldwide? Because
They're
Toy Story 3 made like it made like 1.6.
It, like,
it made
Kids movies are a
1,000,006.
weird multiplier, though. Kids movies are a weird multiplier,
Very true.
especially in the summer, because it's like, hey, I'm just going to drop off. Hey, teenager, you want to go have money and do something on the weekend? You got to watch these 8-9-year-olds, and we're dropping you off in the movie, and it's like all of a sudden,
Not enough money in the world.
yeah, not enough. But I mean,
enough
that's
money in the world.
but that's how
For
that thing
you.
will rotate. Is like. Tuesday they'll see Toy Story, Wednesday they'll see Lion King, Thursday they'll see Toy Story, Friday they'll see Lion King. So I mean, it's
Well, I don't know how many people are going to rewatch it though.
the parents dropping off kids or paying their teenagers to take their
Children,
younger ones
children
over and
love
over
their-
again.
Children, I mean, dude,
They're not going there to
I
watch
don't
the
even
movies
know
as
how
much as
many-
eat popcorn.
I don't
in
know
a
how many
theater.
That's true.
times I've had to
a good point.
rewatch when my nieces and nephews were young, like Finding Nemo.
You mean they had to rewatch
Finding
it with
Nemo's
you?
fantastic though.
How'd you know?
Wait,
Shut up.
Have you guys ever gotten fucked up and watched Finding Nemo 1 or 2 and realized that the entire movie is just making fun of disabled fish?
Well, it absolutely is what that's about.
That's exactly what's going
No,
on. My favorite character in Finding Nemo 2 is the amputee octopus that only has 7 legs.
No, they chunked down a good amount of clownfish in the world because of that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it killed a lot of clownfish.
Sad.
I'll,
Anyway, Jerry.
I'll say 1.8, but Lion King, both of them are going to have weird continuing numbers because of the kids movies and everything.
'Cause, I mean, Jungle Book only made 980.
Yeah, but The Lion King is bigger than Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Jungle Book was, I mean, so much. Oh, I mean, I am the generation of Jungle Book. I did not see that as a kid, and there's no like connection that I
don't like Jungle Book.
having
at all.
lived through as a
Aladdin.
teenager with Lion
Or
King
Lion
when that
King,
happened.
with that
It's
movie.
like people are freaking nuts
Well,
about
no,
that.
Lion
I never
King-
liked Mowgli.
I got them both over 1.5 billion.
Lion
Yeah,
King
I
was
think
one of
that's
the
right.
largest movies domestically for the longest time.
Yeah.
It made like 400 million.
No, It and Forrest Gump were both over 300 and no wait, they were 1-2 because they were both in 94. I'm thinking of Guardians of the Galaxy and Winter Soldier, which were both 320, 330. No, they were like 375, 400. They were like huge
back then. 94, $400 million
movies.
Or just for inflation, they're like billion-dollar
Massive.
movies.
I still think adjusted for inflation, isn't like Gone with the Wind the biggest one?
Still,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
still
yeah,
very
like,
good.
still, yeah.
Like after inflation, it's like 3.7 billion.
Yeah, by
Because-
like
nothing's
leaps
ever-
and bounds.
Nothing will ever catch that
because it
movie.
sold like 37 million tickets or something, some ridiculous
No,
number.
actually, I was
Actually, I
watching a
don't
video
give a
about that. It sold 200 million tickets.
It's a crazy
Frankie,
Yeah,
my
it's
dear,
all-
I don't give a damn.
They don't really have
for
a weight.
for a 4-hour movie.
And the thing is, that movie.
I would have watched Endgame for
Hold
5.
on.
I
The thing
totally
about,
would've done
anyways, the thing about movies back then is A, not a lot of releases, and B, that movie played for years.
Well, then it would
didn't
continue
just
to come
play for
out.
like 2 months, 3 months.
There
It
was no
played
home
for
theater back then. There was
years.
no like.
No, and that was the thing. It's like you'd have
DVDs,
you'd have your neighborhood theater in your town, and it might take 6 months to 9 months for the movie to get there, and then it would play for a month and a half.
And if
No,
your
no, no.
wagon wheel broke,
People didn't have TVs in their houses, right?
Yeah, no. So
they
like,
didn't.
no.
No,
when-
Farnsworth had just introduced it at the World's Fair in '39, so same year that Gone with the Wind came out.
So yeah, no. That movie played
Yeah,
for like
no, people did not
That
know
movie played in theaters for like 6 years.
I believe it.
and not counting re-releases,
And not
because there
counting
wasn't
re-releases.
television
Well,
re-releases.
that's why Titanic got over $2 billion. It was because of the re-release. 'Cause it got
It
released
it's
in
only
3
made
days.
57 million in those two re-releases.
It came out. That's why it
In
crossed
2012 and in
It's why-
2017.
But because of those two, it crossed $2 billion. I do believe.
No, but I mean, it's
Just-
it's
yeah.
but
it's
it's
just
only
karma for dicking over Jack.
I really don't get why so many people went to see that movie. We all know how it ends.
Yeah,
I
Well,
never.
that's true.
I honestly don't understand.
My parents took me to see it. I was like, this is
I
stupid.
think James Cameron. I think genuinely James Cameron has to like hypnotize people.
I don't get it. Like,
Sometimes I don't
no,
understand Avatar. I don't get Titanic. Terminator 2.
Terminator
Fuck
2,
yes.
yeah, all day.
Yeah.
True
Well,
Lies,
no,
which doesn't hold up very well, by the way.
True with the
Love it, but still.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Elijah Dushku as a child.
Yeah. Anyways, go on,
Oh,
Jerry.
yeah.
So you have Toy Story 4 and Lion
I
King.
think the only non-Disney movie in the top 5 is Hobbs and Shaw, and it's going to be ridiculously huge. It's two charismatic action people that people just want to watch in anything.
They
anyway.
were the best part of Fast 8.
They,
Those two
have
together,
been
breaking
the
that-
best
Yeah.
part.
Rock was the best.
And-
Like when he got introduced in Fast 5, he was the best part immediately.
And-
by far.
And
Yeah.
this
By
and this
far.
is what Universal is like. Okay, Van, we'll do your last Fast and the Furious, but we're fine because we got
got
what
our
we
guys.
want.
Yeah.
And then they're adding Vanessa Kirby, greatest thing ever. And then they can bring in Dracula Untold guy whenever they need to.
Oh,
Luke Evans.
Yeah, Luke Evans.
Luke Evans.
He's the
God,
man.
why did that movie not get a sequel?
It's-
I like Dracula
well,
it
Untold a
would
lot.
have. The Mummy killed that.
That
the Tom
Mummy
Cruise-
killed all that
Killed that
happening.
entire series.
That movie was
Damn you,
terrible.
Tom
That was
Cruise.
awful. Yeah,
Well, it's not. He's only good in.
he's just making way for his
Mission
movies.
Impossible.
He's only good in Mission Impossible movies.
I do
Jack
like, I do
Reachers.
like the Jack Reacher movies.
Yeah,
I've never seen him.
I went
they're good.
to go see the first one. I ended up getting a hand job and not paying attention.
Hold on. Quick time out.
Appropriate name.
What was his
Appropriate
name?
name for a movie.
Jack reach around.
Quick time out for Jerry's list, right quick. Did anyone see the trailer for Brightburn?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Evil Superman?
You mean 5 months ago when it first
Yeah.
I never
premiered?
saw it.
I was
just-
telling you to see it. Like
I know.
a month ago.
I never got around to it until last night. I was like,
He doesn't care about you, Carl.
That's
Not at all.
what it is.
No, it accidentally came on when I was watching some other stuff. I'm like,
This is not my idea. I'm not listening.
Well,
to
no,
it.
this is what I got to do. I got to figure out how he works the TV because he can put his like right from his phone to the TV, and then I'm forced. So it's like it's a checkmate. So what I got to do is figure out the same movie or move, and then like that.
that's actually that comes.
It's so cool.
It comes out in 3 weeks.
Oh,
No,
really?
Holiday
but
weekend.
it's
So
Netflix
cool.
though, isn't it? Or is
No,
it actually
no,
in
no,
theaters?
it's a
Oh, okay.
movie.
Okay.
It's a
I
movie.
thought
It's-
that
Well,
was-
it's
thought it was
it's a
too.
theater
and,
movie.
and
Yeah.
there was like 8 guns.
I'll see it.
Help contribute to making that movie. Like the 2
Yeah,
writers
no,
of Guns,
everyone in,
and
like,
James
yeah.
Gunn's the producer, and then some guy I never heard of is the director.
I love James Gunn's brother in the Guardians movies. I think
Oh, he's
perfect.
great. Yeah.
great.
He's
He
great.
does play
The behind the scenes shots of anything involving Rocket are great because you're like, what? Oh yeah, that's right, he's Rocket.
Yeah. Anyways, go on, Jerry.
So once we get to 4 or 5, I think it's going to be. I think Aladdin will be 4 because I think this is funny Will Smith, who we haven't seen in a long time. Which is why I think whenever the Bad Boys 3 comes out, that's going to be shockingly surprising.
Like $1 billion. It's gonna be rated R.
You're looking at you want to know what your next comedy that's going to make a lot of money? That's going to be the next comedy, and it's an action comedy.
Which one?
Bad Boys 3,
Oh,
4,
yeah.
or whatever it is.
Bad Boys,
Bad Boys
4.
3,
4.
yeah, for life.
It'll be 4.
No, it's 3.
It is
Bad
3.
Where was 3?
Bad Boys 2 was in Miami. That was the last one.
Yeah, with
was
Gabrielle
Miami and
Oh,
Cuba.
Miami.
Cuba.
Yeah.
God, it feels
That
like
was-
there's
well, they
been
did
a
both.
million of them already.
So the Gabrielle Union, who played Sydney, the sister,
Yeah.
she and Jessica Alba are having a TV series where she's continuing playing the sister cop, and they're
they're doing a TV show?
yes,
A
because
Bad
she's
Boys
Sydney.
show.
So
What
it's
channel?
called I'm not sure if it's a streaming one. I think Amazon Prime or is it? Or,
Yeah, I think it's Amazon Prime or something like that.
really? I had
And
no
so
idea.
Dwayne Wade retired. They need money.
they changed the name.
He was never the highest paid player. And
It was going to be called Sid and Nancy because Jessica Alba's Nancy and Sydney Sid,
that's
but
not gonna
they're
work.
changing
That's
it.
not
They're
gonna
changing it. No,
work.
they changed it because but that was also the name of Jessica Alba had 2 pugs. Those were the names of her pugs.
God, I love Jerry.
So is it going to be rated R or TVMA?
No, it's gonna
What's
be
the deal?
TVMA. I'm sure.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be on Amazon or whatever, it'll be TVMA. Go on, Jerry.
So then, so I think Aladdin is 4 because it's funny Will Smith and people would like to see that. And once people got over themselves with the first picture of Will Smith not in makeup, it's like they're just showing him on set. It's not just get over yourself. And so I think Spider-Man will be 5 because that trailer was really cool, and this is the only thing we know about going forward.
So wait,
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
on,
no,
hold
this-
on.
this is
Hold on,
gonna-
so
it's
Tom,
our
so-
last.
filling a
It's
lot
our
of blanks
last
that we
hit
have.
of the well.
You think those 5 movies make $1 billion? They're all $1 billion movies. I think.
Well, I think they're the top 5. I don't know that they're all.
I think they
uh,
all easily cross $1 billion.
I hope Aladdin goes negative.
Aladdin will be the slowest. Will take the longest time to get there, or the most awkward time, or whatever. But it'll get there.
I got it at 9, so yeah. I mean,
It'll-
I think Aladdin makes $1 billion.
I think
I hope it's in like
I think
500.
I think this summer we're going to see $5 billion movies.
and
It's
then
gonna be ridiculous.
And then I think Men in Black because
International?
yes, because it's Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson and their goodwill
yeah.
And they're
from
actually-
Ragnarok
they're
and
riding
everything.
It's gonna
they're
ride
riding
that
the
wave.
coattails of Endgame and Ragnarok.
and the trailer's good and
I don't think it looks like
Hemsworth is terrifically.
Oh, he's funny.
and
He's
Tessa-
I
hilarious.
love him.
Yeah.
He may be like the perfect human.
He really is.
I think, and he's Australian, and so I think that he has a connection to the Fast Five. It's unfortunate they killed her off because he would have clearly done a cameo at some point in one of those things.
All right, so go on.
So I think that'll be 6. I think that'll be the surprise of the
Men in Black, huh?
Of the action movies or things that it's like, oh, that did
Action
really
comedy,
well. Yeah,
like-
I
that-
think the movie does not do well.
yeah, I think most people think that's an outside top 10 movie. I think that is in.
No,
this
I think it's in the top 10
It's in the top
worldwide.
10.
I think it gets crushed domestic. I don't think it does well.
I think,
I think it
I
will.
think it does like 4 or 5.
I think
Domestically?
I don't have it. I don't have it on my
as
domestic list.
as many of us know of the visual disappointment of shirtless Hemsworth from Endgame, people need their fix. They'll go see Men in Black.
I swear to God, if that movie doesn't open with him shirtless doing crunches, I'm walking out.
Did you see that meme I posted? What is like?
If you don't deserve, you
No,
don't.
no,
you
no, no,
can't
no, no,
stand
no,
me.
no, no, not that one. The one that goes. So, what do you look like? Oh, I look like Thor.
I have the body of
I have the body of Thor. Send me a picture. It's just a picture of his fat body with sunglasses on, looking all fat. I'm like, I love it. I now have the body of Thor.
So that's
He at least kept his muscle mass. He's beefy fat.
He's a beefy fat.
so that was
He
6.
looks like us.
So I
He
think
looks like me and you. Yeah.
I think 7, 8, 9 will be a run on the kids' movies. I don't terrifically have a preference, but Detective Pikachu, Angry
hold on,
Birds
time out.
2,
So you don't have Zilla.
and Secret Life of Pets.
You don't have Zilla in the top 10.
It's those movies are weird. I feel that they always should do better,
have
but
the
they
most
ended
hype.
up not. Oh, I have.
the most hyped
I
for that
am
movie.
ridiculously excited to see
Because
it.
I mean, Godzilla 1 made
They
over
go-
600 million. Godzilla 1 made over 600 million.
and it was a
then
Memorial Day weekend release, as this one is, but it had less competition after going around.
There wasn't much shit at the time.
Everything is coming out.
What
right
Everything
came
is
out
coming
that-
out this
What
year.
came out that year? That
Trying to
was
snap Jerry out
It
of
was
existence.
2014.
It's not working.
2014, right?
Yeah.
What were the top domestic movies?
Winter Soldier.
What was I'm just going to look up 2014 top grosses.
No, it was Age of Ultron leading into. I
No,
thought.
no. 2015 was Age of Ultron. 2014 was Winter Soldier.
Because it was Age of Ultron because the husband and wife in Godzilla are
Brother and
sister in Age of Ultron.
I
It's
saw
the
them
same, yeah,
kiss.
it's the same year.
Game of Thrones.
Okay, highest grossing movie. Oh, God. 24. God, that was 5 years ago? That seems so great.
We're old.
No, Lucy came out that year.
I thought that
I
was
feel like that movie came out like a billion years ago.
Oh, that
Okay.
weird movie where she becomes a USB stick. or something like
2014
that.
Avatar was only 10 years.
Age of
Yeah,
Extinction.
it's crazy.
Oh God, that Transformers movie. That made $1 billion.
That made a lot of money.
Yeah, but nobody, but like people all hated it.
It went because they just went because that was
Rightfully so.
with dinosaurs, right? So that's why it was yeah. So that's why it was.
Dinobots.
That's the only reason why I saw it.
I mean, that's-
Dinobots, and they
yeah.
ruined the Dinobots in that movie.
Robots
Was
find a way.
Jurassic World 2014 or 15?
Hold on, Jurassic World.
I think it was 15.
No, it's 15.
It was 15.
Okay.
It was June of 15.
Godzilla was
Yeah. That came out
Godzilla
on my
was the
birthday.
13th highest gross. No, this is domestic. Never mind. This is 2014 domestic. I want worldwide.
Godzilla's a worldwide phenomenon.
I'm just it's
How does
that-
it do it in
What
Japan?
was the
He does very well if you watch the
Jaegers-
old movies.
the Jaegers
Pacific Rim.
Pacific
Rims.
Rim. Again, it's like the hype and the lead up and the trailers are fantastic,
Yeah,
but a lot of
that's-
people don't show up to that.
That's
and
the
follow
one thing I was
through.
trying to tell these guys.
They
I
don't
was
follow
like,
through on those.
The whole Jaeger, no, not Jaeger, but kaiju movies, except for Godzilla, don't really typically do that well.
Well, I mean, you guys.
It's really tough to make movies with original ideas these days.
Well, but it's not even.
Godzilla's not an original IP.
No, that's why Godzilla does
wait,
well.
you talking
Yeah.
about
But
Pacific
it's
Rim.
it's just that it's.
Yeah, but
I think I think it'll
Did
do
anybody
fine.
ever make Pacific Rim Job, or is that a missed opportunity?
It's missed up.
Oh,
I'm
how dare
sure
they.
that existed
Not yet.
before
Yeah.
those movies. It's probably like
that's
older.
That's definitely an Asian porn movie.
just a bunch, just a bunch
It's
of
Pacific Rim, John. That's an Asian porno.
You're just going on your fire stick. This is not what I was looking for.
just people from Laotian eating ass. That's all it is.
We're a landlocked country.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
Pacific.
exactly. There's no beaches, so you just lick butt. You don't have to worry about getting sand on your tongue.
Working in that King of the Hill reference.
Okay, so hold on. Transformers.
The
Age of
ocean,
Extinction.
not the ocean. We're a landlocked country.
Godzilla was number 14 when it came out at 529 million.
I think it'll do fine. I don't think it'll be top 10.
I think it's going to be better than.
So that's just the difference.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
I mean,
top 10.
it's. I mean, it's. I'm telling you the 10 movies I'll think of run. It's not like it's
Yeah.
not going to make money.
Winter Soldier was only number 7. Transformers: Age of Extinction was the only billion-dollar movie that year.
Asian
And the
Extinction
Hobbit
was?
Battle of Five Armies.
Oh,
that was
forgot
the
about
last Hobbit movie. Didn't even make $1 billion.
No, because
Yeah.
there's a
That
reason
movie
for
was
that.
Terrible.
Well, it's.
Maleficent and Guardians of the Galaxy
Smog,
came out
the
that year
middle one.
too. That was a really weak year. Days of Future Past and
Well,
Captain
you're
America.
looking at worldwide, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at
So
worldwide.
domestic, it was.
Those are quality movies.
Domestic was
Sniper.
Guardians.
No, Sniper. American Sniper was the number 1 domestic that year.
And the last
Americans
Hunger
and their
Games,
guns.
and the last
Yeah.
Hunger Games
Americans
movie.
and their guns.
John Wick 3 will do great domestically.
No,
Well, that's
domestic.
okay. That's my number 10.
Hunger
so I'm
Games
going.
Was, no,
John Wick 2
Sniper,
only made like
Hunger,
$180 million.
Guardians,
I know
and
that's
Captain.
that's what's getting me about not wanting to put it there. That's why I have like the 3 kids movies: Pikachu, Angry Birds 2, and Secret Life of Pets is 7, 8, 9. And I'm
He's actually smart. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't think
I might have to knock Zilla out of the top 10.
I think John Wick
I'm not doing that
3.
out
I think
of
John Wick is one of those things. It's like the Fast and the Furious movies. It's like
they're gonna get better
they're well
domestically.
more people will go see them.
That would be
Quality
a massive
I'm-
jump.
It would be a huge jump.
180 million
Yeah.
for number 2.
That's so sad.
But it's hitting the right weekend though. It's coming out Memorial Day weekend.
no, it comes out next week.
Oh, it's next week. So it's week before.
It comes up in between Godzilla and Pikachu.
300 million tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think John Wick's
What
gonna
were
do
the?
that well.
Let me
Which
see
is
what
kind
the
of
others
crushing
were.
because it's a lovely franchise.
Well, no.
Oh, and he
but
said
no,
he'd make those until
No, but
there's
the thing
no
is, they're
more to
lower
do
budget
those.
movies. They'll make
Yeah.
them for years.
Yeah.
Oh no!
There's
Oh,
no-
I'm sorry. No, it won't. John Wick 3 will not be number 10. Rocket Man because old
Yeah.
white people
No.
need a movie to see.
Yeah, Bohemian
Yeah.
Rhapsody just did 800 million.
Yeah, so Rocket Man with especially Elton John's last year,
somewhere
that's
between,
number 10.
Wait,
somewhere
that-
between
that-
7 and 9.
Rocket Man's number
That
10.
being said, do you think it'll beat Bohemian Rhapsody? I don't think so.
So I mean, I have it. It's somewhere between 7 and 9. It'll either
Yeah.
just come short or just pass it. It'll be close.
Okay.
Similar movie. Same people are going to see it.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
the same. It's
it's
the
the same
same director, as I air quote, because it's the guy who finished Bohemian Rhapsody is actually directing Rocket Man.
Oh, that really?
Yeah.
Okay, no, Bohemian was directed by
Singer got credit for it, but he got fired.
because
But
it's a whole
but
fiddling with little
the
children thing.
the Directors Guild still gave him credit, so
Right.
it's the guy who came in to finish that.
So now we got that list. Hey, Carl,
And
what's
it's
yours?
Taron Egerton too. It's like so he's fun to watch.
So
Kingsman guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for top,
Robin Hood.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
Wasn't that the biggest bomb of the year last?
one of them.
that was so bad.
I didn't
What's
watch
really
it.
funny
Did
is
anyone
that-
watch it?
It was. Yeah, I did.
Elton
terrible?
John and
Yeah, I
Taron
want my time back.
Egerton and
We'll call the
thing
Russo
is-
brothers.
hold on. Taron
And Jamie
Egerton
Foxx.
and also
Jamie Foxx is in that.
Yeah, Taron Egerton and also Rocket Man. Fucking
Oh, the other person.
Elton John. They were both in the last Kingsman movie.
Yeah, Kingsman. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's.
Oh, yeah, Elton John.
You think Elton John recruited him? Like, yeah, you
Well,
want to play
probably.
me?
I'm sure they probably sang at
They
some
talk
point. It's
about-
like, oh, hey,
Do you imagine?
Is
Like,
he, is he singing?
You mean recruited him?
he's just sitting there looking at headshots. He's cute. Let's get him.
Hold on, wait. Is he singing?
No, he's not. He's
I
lip
was about to say, are
syncing.
you sure
He's lip syncing.
That's gonna be a hard. Elton John has a great voice. Anyways, Carl, your list.
And by the way,
So,
Lion King. That's why Rocket Man's going to get helped more.
do they have Jonathan Taylor Thomas coming back for Simba?
No,
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover is playing old and young Simba.
Oh, okay,
And,
that'd be interesting.
And Beyonce is playing old and young Nala, as opposed to Maura Kelly playing Nala.
Why does she do things? She could just sit at home counting her money for the rest of her days.
Because the money truck backs up. It's like, hey, would
Her
you want to
husband
do
has
this?
more money than she does.
It's like, would you want?
Yeah, but-
would you want to do this? It's like, I don't know. It's like, hey, well, you can record in your
This would be a
studio in
very-
New York.
Here's my most unpopular opinion. I don't understand the big deal about Beyonce.
I'm not a
I'm
huge
male.
fan.
I'm not a
You're a
Beyonce
male.
fan.
It's
I don't get it.
I mean, it's
Like her Netflix special.
it's not for you. I mean, it's
her.
Oh,
Netflix
that's right. She had a
special?
Netflix special.
It just came out like a couple weeks ago.
It was-
I haven't
No,
it
watched
was
I
it
don't
was
watch
it was a video
I
documentary
don't
of
give
her
a-
Coachella performances from
Well,
last
first off,
year.
I don't give a fuck
that
about
what
Coachella. I love music festivals, but I don't fucking care about
People
Coachella.
go to Coachella just to say they went to Coachella.
Exactly. People they take that one Instagram photo of them and their friends in the background, sunset, golden hour, hands up, holding hands, flower thing on their head, done. They can leave.
Cuts camera off, does tons of drugs.
Yeah. Cuts camera off, they do a bunch of drugs. They don't
So that
even
actually,
catch- they
the
don't
golden
catch
hour
music
shots
at
they
all.
take are sunrise because they've been up all night because of the.
It looks better coming up, okay?
All right, sorry, Carl, go ahead.
That's what he told me.
So yeah, not much change here really for the top two. You know what we have. I have Toy Story, and then Lion King.
Rub it in when Lion King wins.
I'm not gonna lie to you. My mind's been changed.
I think you may be right, but I'm going to stick with
I
Toy
think-
Story.
I've changed my mind. I got Lion King at 1 now.
See, I just like Toy Story because it makes me feel more. That's why I want it there.
I want.
You want to play with toys? I want to play with lions.
I think Toy Story 4 does more because we're gonna debate a little bit more about the domestic here. But go ahead.
Okay. So next,
Well,
then I got Spider-Man, and then
Yeah, Spider-Man
after that,
3?
And I know this is going to be controversial, but I love Godzilla movies, and I don't care what anyone says.
Thank you.
Yeah,
my favorite.
that goes up top for me. And I'm not going to be that crazy.
At 4?
At 4, yeah, 4.
You think how much do you think it's going to make total?
Literally King of the Monsters.
King of the monsters.
How much do you think it's going to
Total,
make?
like
Total.
So I'm really, really hoping it gets to 1.2.
Wow, that'd be
Yeah.
double. That'd be double.
I know.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love it too.
And
But-
then
That
Godzilla.
would all but assure that we get Godzilla movies for the next 20 years.
Yeah. Well written and directed.
We have two chances at this because I think Godzilla versus Kong could really fuck with $1 billion.
Yeah, that
Next
one.
year?
No, that's gonna shoot.
Well,
yeah.
the thing that seems to be disappointing to me is that they set up Kong as like a defender, and clearly Godzilla is. So it's like, how are they going to do the Civil War situation?
No, because what they're
You
gonna
have to
do,
bring
they're
him
gonna
to Skull
They both
Island.
have a mother
Yeah.
named Martha.
well, no, what they're gonna.
Mothra.
You blew the joke, John.
know.
So wait, this is what I'm hoping
Got to
happens.
save
I hope
Mothra.
what's gonna happen is they see all the destruction that happens
That is
from.
Josh, that is a fantastically well played joke.
This is where I think they missed the boat with the King Ghidorah thing because you know how he perpetuates an electrical storm wherever he goes. I think Ghidorah should have been stuck under Skull Island somewhere.
that would have been a very good setup.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
And then Ghidorah would have came out wrecking shop, and maybe Godzilla comes or something like that, and they don't like that.
Godzilla just wakes up. He just gets angry. That's what it is. Yeah. But no, so this is how I think it's going to play out.
By the way, do you think the weirdly sexual final fight in that last Godzilla movie is what put people off of that?
You mean when he snowballed the Muto to death? Open up! That was that was the most badass thing I've ever seen.
That's slightly ruined it for me right there. Dang it.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. We did a whole. You weren't here for it, but we did a whole thing about like favorite scenes to rewatch because Netflix introduced that whole. Would you like to watch it again? Because
I have a real answer now.
I was watching Infinity War, and after he says, "Bring me Thanos,"
That's my favorite part to watch.
Yeah, you go at the end of that scene. It says, "Would you like to watch that again?" I'm like, "Yes,
Absolutely.
And so we did a whole list.
17 times.
We did a whole list of like, what's your top 5 most watchable scenes?
Oh, that's
And
tough.
I could. Well, we're not doing that.
I
Right now.
I now have a new answer, which is all top 5. Is from when the three of them start walking down to Thanos until the charge after Avengers Assemble.
The Avengers Assemble.
I'll just watch that as a loop. Just all of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments where that just takes the top 5.
within
right
it.
there.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Anyways, hold on, sorry, we don't want to
And
interrupt
it
Carl.
ends with
Carl,
Ant-Man
go
punching
ahead.
the thing out of the air.
All right, so wait,
Carl, go ahead.
with my theory about Godzilla or the rest of the movies?
Yeah, just go to the rest of the movies.
Godzilla.
I know, I kind of want to talk about Godzilla. I'm going to go with Godzilla. So this is how I
At
think
least
it's gonna
17.
Hijacked.
So honestly,
Go
okay,
ahead,
so this is how it's gonna happen, right? They're gonna see all the destruction from Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and then they're gonna build Mecha Godzilla, and then
Ooh.
yeah, and then
makes sense.
Yeah, and then Kong and Godzilla are gonna end up fighting somehow, but then they're gonna have to unite to beat Mecha
I'm good with
Godzilla.
this. I like this.
Well,
Yeah,
hold on.
that's what I'm thinking.
Well,
is gonna happen.
the big rumor, it's not really a rumor, it's going to happen, is we're going to see the Oxygen Destroyer this time in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and that's how Destroyer is made. So there's a chance you could see him next to.
Oh, that's
One of the things that I think is the underplayed genius of the marketing is the horrific and terrible and cheesy way they say Godzilla's name in the trailer. With the one person's like, "Oh my God," and then Josh from West Wing, "Zilla," like right after it, and they marry it together, like the A View to a Kill with Christopher Walken and Grace Jones. How it's like "A View to a Kill." It's like it doesn't fit, but it's like that's the only movement. And it's I just want the gif of the guy going "Zilla."
Anyways, go ahead, Carl. Finish your list.
All right. Let's see. After that, so I'm taking a lead off of you guys with Hobbs, and then
I mean, outside of Avengers Endgame and Star Wars, that's the movie I'm probably going to end up watching, like over the lifetime of its existence and mine.
Really?
That I'll end up watching more than anything else.
It's going to be hilarious.
It's going
to be
so
hilarious.
funny.
But
I
I
mean,
think people are seeing something I don't. I kind of feel like that right now.
Well, I mean, it's like they do the Captain America Civil War thing with the helicopter,
Yeah,
but they go so much bigger with it.
And I mean, that scene alone where he's like face unrecognized or not face not.
Yeah.
Right. I love that shit.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of great moments, but
So good.
It might be,
And
I'm a
that's
little
not going to
afraid-
be the best joke in that movie.
And Idris Elba is a black Superman.
See,
He is Black Superman.
He is black in real life.
but no, I'm kind of afraid that like with some of those movies, all the best parts are in the trailer.
True.
That's what I'm always afraid of, and that's why I'm not giving it too much credit. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
isn't in the second trailer? Didn't they go back to Samoa?
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. And the
Yeah, like, where's my guns?
Roman
Roman
Reigns
Reigns,
is
we
there.
got rid of them all.
Yeah.
His cousin plays his brother.
There's a big battle in Samoa, and they don't have any guns. It's just going to be people throwing.
and they
down.
get like team members from like what are the New Zealand
Rock-
Blackhawks to come in there and do their,
The Rock.
The Haka.
They get to do the
Hakas.
Haka, and
Yeah.
The Rock already gets to have his Moana sequel. Go on, Carl.
All right, where was it? Okay, then I have Detective Pikachu coming up, and then Aladdin. Let's see, then
Wait, so you have Aladdin low?
yeah, I really really hate Aladdin with a passion.
brown people.
So here's the thing about Carl. Carl hates a lot of good things. He doesn't like Into Spider-Verse.
John
I
doesn't
don't-
like anything.
Carl doesn't like pandas.
No.
Wait, what?
Okay, if you I don't like pandas, but
Dolphins too.
I don't like dolphins. Well, no, some things with dolphins.
Dolphins one is credible though.
Yeah, the dolphin one's
rapey.
credible. They're rapey, and no one gives them slack about it.
Well, sea otters rape baby seals to death. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
And they also hold baby otters hostage, so the mother will give them food. Like, hey, I'm gonna take
Yeah,
your
but
kid.
okay, but I'm not saying if there was a popularity vote in that species, then
Everyone
they're like,
loves
oh,
otters.
Yeah, everyone loves. But considering we as humans love dolphins, but they're raping us and no one cares.
Who got raped by a dolphin?
a lot of kids have gotten raped by dolphins. It happens all the
Carl,
time.
did you get raped by a
Dolphins hump
dolphin?
everything.
Is there something you haven't told us yet about during our podcast?
I mean, you don't walk into a dolphin's house and expect to not get dealt with. It's not like they're coming on land through your window.
Yeah, they don't have hands for
the
guns.
Worst,
They can
the
only
worst
do what
thing
they can
I've
do.
seen this week was that dolphin retrieving that cell phone.
Oh, wait,
I
wait, hold on.
hated seeing that because
Wait,
I was
hold-
like, no, they're getting stronger.
Wait, so I have a question. So which sound is more rapey? Hee hee or ee?
Are we going to get a John Wick style movie about you and your life being raped by a dolphin, going out and killing a murder spree?
They killed my cat.
You love
Yeah.
that South Park episode. We're in the Cove.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My favorite. There we go. Yeah.
Anyways, continue. Let's finish off this list.
All right. Where was I? Okay. So Aladdin. Okay. Then 2. I got Dark Phoenix. 'Cause,
Really?
Yeah. I think it will do reasonably well.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think.
I think it will.
Maybe 4 to 5. Actually,
I don't have it there anymore.
Well, on your list, it doesn't have to be.
I know.
Stand by.
Oh yes.
My God.
I actually haven't seen that trailer because of that.
I didn't even notice that. Anyways, finish it off so I can do my list right quick.
Okay. Then I got MIB.
that deserves $1 billion.
So
I got MIB, and then Rocket Man.
At 10.
Yeah, which I might change Rocket Man. He might move up a little bit.
I think that one actually
Yeah,
might do
then-
more. That's the counter programming for
yeah,
the adults.
and then
in
I
the
got
summer.
John
No,
Wick
no,
because
no.
I got Faith.
I'm talking about domestic.
Then Once
Oh,
Upon
anything.
a Time.
Wait. Oh, we're not doing
Secret
domestic yet.
Life.
Oh, the Pommies are totally going to see Rocket Man.
Oh, yeah. We're not doing domestic yet, but okay. So is that your list?
Yeah, that's pretty much my list. Then
Okay.
it's all about Dora's, scary stories and all that. Who cares?
Yeah. So my list is right now. I have after us all talking about it, I've officially moved Lion King to 1.
In your face.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
A house divided.
Lion King, no, Lion King's 1 because you know what? The nostalgia, A, and B, that movie's gonna be huge.
And they're leaning
gonna
right
be
into
huge.
it. It's like a direct remake.
It looks
Yes,
great.
It looks good. And Toy Story 4 will be 2. Now, then after that, I got Spider-Man. I think the top 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 5 movies are all gonna make over $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's just who's gonna at this point who's gonna make more.
Who's gonna make the most?
Yeah, but I got Lion King 1, Toy Story 4 at 2. I got Spider-Man and then Aladdin. I think Aladdin does way more than y'all. I think Aladdin does
I got it
way
at
more.
900. I mean,
I think Aladdin makes $1 billion.
I mean that's not far.
I know. I just Will Smith, like Jerry said, doing the whole Will Smith thing for the first time in a long time. It's going to do very well. And then I got Hobbs and Shaw. See, I think Hobbs and Shaw could be interchangeable at that point. I'm not quite sure, but it's just
And going to what you're saying about the Will Smith, it's also he's the only person that could replace Robin Williams because he's not going to be manic. He's going to be likable, and it's going to be a different
Yeah.
way. So I mean, that's the only you do somebody to try and mimic that performance. It's like nope, it's
Impossible.
not
Well,
going to work.
I was thinking Dan Cook. No, I'm joking.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
joking.
after
God,
that.
Everyone was about to get mad.
Everybody gave him
was chilly.
We were about to be like, sub.
If
So-
Death by Eyes existed,
So
there'd be no more
anyways,
Carl.
after
My
that,
water's so cold right now.
after Hobbs and Shaw, I got Secret Life of Pets.
Ooh.
That makes sense.
it's gonna make a lot
the
of
first one
money.
did 800 million.
Yeah, I was surprised
Followed
at
by-
that, knowing that.
I don't follow kids' movies.
Followed by Detective Pikachu. I think Detective Pikachu.
So you don't think it's going to make as much as Secret
Pikachu better
Life of
beat.
Pets?
Pikachu might beat that.
it'll
be close.
It's gonna be really close.
Yeah.
I think they could both. They're both gonna make like 800.
Like 8 to
Once again,
750.
kind of like how Aladdin and I think Shaw are gonna be in the lower end of like 1 billion. I think those two are gonna be like in the lower end of like 800 to 900.
Yeah.
So after that, I have Men in Black, followed by Rocket Man, and then Angry Birds 2 at the end. So I officially moved Zilla out of the top 10. I know. If we're gonna go logic here, I think Zilla's. I hope Zilla makes 700.
Oh, none of this was based on logic for me.
I know. For me, I think Zilla's gonna make like maybe 700 million.
Yeah.
But I think that all these
Where'd
other
you have it
movies,
at before?
Huh?
Where'd you have Zilla
At
before?
one point, I had Godzilla at 6 or 7.
And what movies have jumped in it? What's your 7?
I moved Rocket Man all the way up to that.
Probably.
I
Did
can,
not
I,
bad.
I can see that.
Yeah,
And
that-
I kind
that
of
got
swapped. I swapped Secret Life with Detective Pikachu, and I swapped Zilla with Rocket Man. I just think I would love Zilla to crush it.
So we
I
get
just
more of them.
don't- Yeah, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. But
It's got to be so much to make
I'm
those
gonna go-
movies.
I'm
I
gonna go
honestly
ahead
hope
and
it does number
And
one.
that's the problem.
So
is
for
that
me,
they have to make so much money to
Have
get
you?
more of those.
I know. Have you seen what King Ghidorah looks like? That has to cost so much.
Oh my god! Just the scene of them rushing together. It's
Oh.
like, oh
Yeah, but hold on, time out,
Oh.
guys. Y'all remember how Godzilla worked? When something dope happens, that you just humans,
Yeah, humans.
humans.
Different
So
director.
They save a lot of money doing that, though. So
I don't think this is gonna be like that.
But I
hope
I
not.
think that was clever though in the first one because they didn't have the budget to begin with. Is that one they made the scale at such a level to where when they're on the train at the Hawaii airport and then the things they knocks down, it's like you save the beginning, so they saved all their money for the fight, so you get the effects in the fight
Yeah.
at the end.
The snowball.
Yeah.
$100 million snowball.
Godzilla. No, they spent 160 million on that first Godzilla.
When
That's
when
it?
the
Yeah, I'm
that's
actually
not a
kinda
lot of
surprised
money.
That's a
about that.
lot of money.
Not for
What?
not with a 300-foot CGI
True.
lead character.
True, but that's
not
actually-
a lot
that's
of
a-
money.
5 years
His,
ago, that was a
his
shit
foot
ton of money. Really.
alone was probably like 20% of that budget.
That's unfortunately a mid-budget movie.
Yeah. Now,
Nowadays,
what did Endgame cost? $356 million.
way more than that. Actually,
best return ever.
I think, both of them, both Infinity
'Cause
War and
actually,
Endgame together, were over $700
Because
million.
hold on, here Godzilla is tracking for a $55 million debut, according to Forbes. It's just really article just came out today. While Rocket Man is aiming for a $25 million launch.
Yeah, Rocket Man
Huh?
will last longer though.
I think Rocket Man's gonna have way
yeah.
more leg.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a better multiplier.
So-
Godzilla's going to be a big boom.
Big boom, and
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
but let's see. Right now, the budget for this one was $200 million, so it could be a little bit better. We might get a little more action. No more pan away.
Well, I mean,
we're gonna
you
see
say
See, I don't
Godzilla's-
know what that translate into CGI money.
because
though.
that's 17,
'Cause that-
at least 17 monsters, and I mean we've already
There's a
seen
lot going on. We'll see what
They have to
happens.
pay for CGI and
there's
Bitcoin.
definitely going to be some monster that just go like
So,
that.
anyways, that's
it's
what we're
gonna
going
be
to
quick
segue
flashes of
to
some of them.
domestic. I think Aladdin. I think Toy Story actually wins the domestic. It'll be the top grossing domestic movie. That means here in the United States, followed by Lion King and Aladdin, and then I think Spider-Man is actually going to be at 4 at that point.
4.
Yeah.
I had him higher up.
And then I have Pets.
Every last movie up.
$2 billion.
I think Pets.
All the monies. All the monies.
What? Lion King?
Yeah.
$2 billion.
Way more than Toy Story.
I thought about domestic though.
It'll still be
Lean
more.
in, lean in.
I don't know.
Yeah, Lion King over anything. Like I think the list just like drops.
It might
after
even do
Lion
like
King.
2.1, 2.2.
It's
I think it's going to be huge.
because there's every
How much did
kid
Beauty and the Beast make?
$1 billion.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, like,
but
and who the fuck
what-
cares?
It didn't come close to
in
2.
March.
Beauty and the
Lion
Beast
made
made
it
how
in-
much?
$1 billion.
What?
In March,
Exactly.
it made that in March. There's not the free summer
Nobody-
school weekdays to take the kids to it all. Lion King will get because there's going to be everybody who saw it as a kid, and then they're going to bring all of their kids.
When
and
is
then
it
everybody
coming out
else.
Slowly
again?
starting to see the light here.
When is it coming out again?
June. It's like the week before July 4th. I think that's when it is.
No, Beauty and the Beast made 1.2 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was a March release.
I think personally, Lion King's gonna make like 1.6. I don't know about 2 billion. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
It's Mufasa and Simba.
I get that, but dude,
nostalgia
listen,
is what makes the money.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that like as far
They
as
got mine already.
listen, there's only been what 5 movies now to make 2 billion, and we're not. Gonna, I don't know if we're gonna get 2 movies in
The
1
same
year.
way that Disney fucking marketed Star Wars when it came back, and all these kids started watching, like got into it, and the action figures, like the toys,
True.
everything. That's gonna be times 10.
Yeah.
I mean,
And also, like everyone that was a kid when
Oh, by the
Lion
way, guys,
King
that last
came
Brandon
out
voice
is like
is
the
my boy.
perfect.
Lion King.
yeah.
How much did the first Lion King? And that was an original story. This is the remake, and everybody knows they're going. The music is in it. It's like some of the same voices. The other voices are in, and it looks ridiculously awesome.
Well, let's go and take a look at what the original Lion King.
I
made.
don't
We
think
never
Scar
looked
looks
it up, actually.
mean enough.
I think he looks malnourished as
He just
crap.
looks like a skinny lion.
Yeah.
I mean, that was part of
Yeah,
the
I know
Jeremy
he-
Ironsness of it.
I know he was pretty malnourished in the first one,
Well,
but
hold on for.
I don't know, his intimidation factor kind of.
So I got Spider-Man, and then I got Pets in domestic, and then I got Pikachu. I got Zilla actually higher on my.
Yeah.
I got Zilla domestic. I think it does a little bit better domestically.
Yes.
And then I have Hobbs and Shaw all the way down at number 7. I don't think it does. It's not going to do very well domestic.
Big American
Yeah.
movie.
It's a big.
It's America's fuck.
Nah.
The Rock
like
is
the-
America.
Just like the Transformer movies, they've lost a lot of money the more they've gone on domestically. I think the Fast series is just not
Yeah.
as popular.
Here's the
Fast and
difference.
Furious isn't helping him too much.
Fast and the Furious added The Rock and Jason Statham. Transformers added Mark Wahlberg. That's the difference.
True, but at the same time,
It was supposed to be the
Both
Rock.
of the-
Michael Bay was interviewing both of them when they were doing Pain
yeah,
and
The
Gain,
Rock was
and
originally
The Rock
supposed to be in
couldn't do
that.
it.
Yeah.
It would have been so much
And
better.
that would have been so
That
much
would have
because he
been
would
way
have
better.
punched a dinosaur transformer.
I know.
You know what? Time out, guys. You know what? Hold on, wait, Tana. Can we take 1 second to thank The Rock for not doing that movie?
I mean, yeah.
Because now Michael Bay is no longer associated with the Transformers movies.
Can we talk about Pain and Gain? The
I
most
love
underrated
that movie.
movie of the past decade.
I love that movie. That movie's
I love that
hilarious.
movie.
I was very upset when they took it off Netflix.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
really
"Why
bad.
are you off?" No,
That movie was so funny. But yeah, I don't know.
I
mean,
bought that tank top that he
the,
wears.
the whole thing with the whole thing. So the whole thing when Age of Extinction was coming out, like the one thing I was telling myself, please don't let Mark Wahlberg try to be super Mr. 5'9" tough guy and fight a Transformer. And you bet your ass he got out there and tried to fight a Transformer. I was like, just do your Shia LaBeouf and run away.
No,
Just go get some skinny gangly kid and just let him take off.
but anyways, thank you, The Rock, for not doing Transformers. I appreciate that. Michael Bay is no longer associated with that.
So now it's time to come back and save
that
it.
franchise. Come back and save it. Oh, I love Bumblebee. Bumblebee was great.
John Cena was good.
I couldn't finish the movie.
I need John Cena in more movies.
I just don't see that happening.
No. John Cena's supposed to be in the next Fast. Speaking of Fast movie, he's supposed to be
He's in. John Cena?
He's going to be in the next Fast movie, Fast
time
9.
is now.
John
What?
Cena. Yeah, John Cena's going to be in
Cena.
Fast 9.
I can't believe
I
that.
don't-
I can't believe that joke went by so many wrestling fans.
His car's so fast you can't see it.
I just can't see that happening.
Okay, you know what? I'm in. I'm in.
I was wearing my CM Punk shirt today, actually. Anyway, so I got Hobbs and Shaw that low, but I mean, who knows? Honestly, it's probably. I'm being hopeful with Zilla. I'm pulling a Carl here.
Yeah, man.
I'm being hopeful for Zilla to do more than Hobbs and Shaw, but
Don't stop.
if we're using
believing.
logic, I think Hobbs and Shaw's gonna do better than Zilla. But I'm holding out. Then I got I got Hollywood. What does Devin call me?
Which is ridiculous.
Pay your tab.
That's not even going to make a. That's not even going to make $80 million.
What?
A secret. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I
It's
know
not going to
Once
make
Upon a
80
Total?
million. Yeah,
Oh.
domestic. It's not going to make
No,
80 million
I think it
domestic.
does. I think it does about 100 million plus. And then I have
Well,
Angry
I mean,
Birds. I got Angry Birds to close out that list. It's
50th
Angry
anniversary.
Angry
of-
Birds too.
Man.
50th anniversary of Sharon Tate's death. People want to see it, but
Yeah, but
it's
the cast. The
he's
cast alone.
He's a
I know.
cinephile.
They got a lot of like
filmmaker.
star juice
When's the
going
last
on in the
time
movie,
What
though.
was the last movie Leonardo DiCaprio was in?
What, the Hateful Eight?
Is that Leonardo DiCaprio was in?
I don't know. I
Hateful
can't remember.
No, it wasn't. It was Kurt Russell.
Yeah, it was the other one.
Eight. What's the last movie he was in?
Easily mistakable, though.
No, I don't know. I can't remember. I was just
Joking.
guessing some
Joking,
Tarantino thing.
No,
Yeah, this is the first
This
thing
is,
he's
this is
done
the first time.
Yeah,
he's
this is the first time he's worked with him.
Yeah,
This is his first movie.
He's
since-
always wanted to, I
DiCaprio.
believe, though,
That's
right?
worked with Tarantino.
No, Django.
That's right.
Oh,
that's right. That's
snap,
what
yeah.
got him.
and he was the
He
best
was
part of that
fantastic.
movie.
He was amazing.
He didn't
in
get
that.
nominated for that movie. It was ridiculous.
The scene where he throws down the glass and
That
cuts
was
his
all-
hand.
He literally
Yeah, it was
kept
all real.
going.
It's all
Yeah.
real.
So no, last movie he was in was jeez, it's been a while.
Revenant when he won.
Yeah, Revenant.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years since Leo's been in a movie. It's gonna be huge. I
Well,
think
we know
do
what he's
very
been
well
doing.
domestic.
Yeah, right. Every supermodel on the planet
That's under 26.
that's under
And also-
26 because
and
he
also-
can.
And also another movie. It's got another Brad Pitt, Brad Pitt Tarantino. They crush it together. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I'm not discounting the quality of the movie. I'm saying that the only people that are excited to see that are cinemaphiles, and there's not enough of those to get that thing over $100 million.
I'll do over 100 million. Want to do a friendly bet?
Nicola Pride again?
Yep.
Well, I
You already won the last
You already,
one.
I know. I won the last one.
You won the last one already. Well,
Another Nicola Pride.
yeah, I get another Nickel Pride. And then I got Angry Birds too, closing out my domestic.
You got some faith in that one, huh?
Well, the last one actually did really well.
Crazy.
No kidding.
Crazy.
Stupid money.
I gotta look at stuff, man, more often because
you listen. You actually pay attention to numbers that matter.
Well,
that make you money.
the one thing to know is that in the summer, the top 10, there's 3 or 4 kids movies, children's movies.
But here's the problem: is that
And with Lion King and Aladdin and Toy Story being there, there's like 6 or 7. of them.
I'm not very confident because I'm missing. There's always every summer there's one comedy for domestic that just crushes it.
yeah.
And I don't have a single. I don't say I have a
think-
single comedy in my domestic list.
I think Men in Black is the closest.
I think
it's gonna
that's
be
the
for that.
action
I don't have-
comedy
I-
kind of thing,
I
like
don't
Wild Wild West.
I don't have Men in Black in my domestic list.
Garbage.
I don't
You
have.
didn't like Wild Wild West?
hate that movie.
I liked it.
Well, the problem
He
is
passed on the Matrix for that.
the problem is
Yeah. Will Smith was supposed to be in the Matrix.
Oops.
Yeah, no.
I saw Wild Wild West after I saw South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut. So it
Oh
was
yeah,
not,
no,
it's not
no,
funny.
no, yeah, definitely.
so
It was like when I saw Cable Guy after I saw Nutty Professor. It was a different type of funny, so I didn't appreciate Cable
Yeah,
Guy, so
yeah,
I saw
fair
it
enough.
later.
I love Cable Guy. Oh my god, I love that movie.
When's speaking of that? When's Sonic Game released?
After they redo the character.
After they read, yeah,
they're
because
going to
the
redesign.
internet,
Oh my god, he looked terrible.
he looked awful.
Those teeth,
Those
Ugh.
eyes.
Those eyes look terrifying.
Yeah.
Why don't you just use the actual fucking?
This has been my bone of contention with any movie that's gone from.
Pikachu did it right.
They did it right.
100% did it right. Continue.
But yeah, why? Okay, so a beloved character. Why would someone sit back and be like, "I'm going to change that"?
November 8th, Sonic.
November 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just enough time to fix the character.
So do you
That's
do you
gonna
think
be
that?
weird. That's a bad date for
Jim
that to make
Carrey's
money.
back is going to hurt after that movie.
Oh yeah.
He's carrying it.
Carrying
Oh,
it.
yeah,
carrying the
OG.
whole movie.
I like that last scene at the very end when they actually show him looking like Dr.
Robotnik.
Robotnik with the mustache.
Yeah.
He's totally full 90s, all in Jim Carrey.
Oh.
Hey guys, who wants to? So
Yeah,
I
I'll
just
go
got,
see it for that reason.
I just got early screen passes to go see The Sun Is Also a Star. Would anyone care to see that with me?
The what?
It's a movie about a dude trying to get a chick to fall in love with him in one day. It's a rom com.
In one day.
Is someone following you with the camera?
Maybe you want to watch it? Hold hands.
When,
You want to
today?
go on a date? No, I just got early passes for it now.
When are the passes for?
I gotta look it up. real
That
quick.
was the question.
Oh, my bad.
The Sun Is Also a Star. I kind of like the title though.
Well, that's because they're pinching Hemingway, but they're not outright biting Hemingway.
Well, apparently, according to I could be wrong with this. It's been a long time since I've seen this figure, but apparently 15% of America wouldn't get that.
That's actually really sad.
Well, I mean, you guys missed the John Cena joke that I made at the very beginning.
This is very true. So, The Sun Is Also a Star. Oh, I got 2 tickets there. Yay. I'm not sharing this on Twitter.
You should bring a date.
No, dates are gross. May 15th. I have early passes.
Next Tuesday, right?
I have early passes to go see Rocket Man.
That's
too.
the
Oh,
critics
that's-
screening.
I
May 15th.
got Rocket Man 2-week early passes
Oh
for
wow.
next week.
From
Yeah.
Chasers, right? When you're at Chasers.
Anyway, so I'm gonna go and watch the It trailer because I haven't watched it yet, and you guys go ahead and do your thing if you want. Here, Spencer, by the way, for those who don't know the random voice I just spoke earlier, it is
Hey, what's
Spencer.
It's a beautiful voice.
It is a
Just
beautiful voice.
listen, I guess.
Of an angel.
He has the voice of an angel. He can
Fergie,
actually sing too.
Jesus.
Would you like to sing us a song while I'm watching the trailer?
Maybe at our sneak preview of whatever movie you want to go see.
Oh, with the stars of the universe.
He's,
or whatever
he's
the fuck it was?
literally going to sing for his dinner.
Serenade it.
It's the only way I know.
I'm looking forward to this now. Thank you. Where would you have to go to dinner? It's going to be in South Park.
Like
so,
Applebee's.
You know, I was thinking Bricktop, but I don't know. Applebee's.
Whatever has to,
I'm a cheap whore.
If you want to get laid, Applebee's is the best place to go.
Applebee's, yeah.
Not don't bring a date, just like the waitresses.
dollar margaritas too, all month.
You can't beat a meth addiction.
hey, Martha, what are you doing after this?
You know how enthusiastic a meth-filled hand job is?
Meth, that's where you lose your teeth, right?
John, where are your shoes, bro?
Flip flops.
Just making sure.
Not slides. You can't afford slides. You have to go straight flip flop.
Well, when we started, the theme was Korea, so.
That's true. They've been turned into coal.
Anyway, kids, Spencer, you hop on here. I'm going to watch you a 2 trailer and go to the bathroom.
All right, John's leaving, so we can really have some fun.
Yeah, we can talk about stuff.
He's going to go give himself a meth handy.
Gertrude at the Applebee's? My gosh.
Lion King is probably going to be the one that makes all the money. That's,
Yeah. No, you guys swayed me.
Is everyone
Guys
seeing the lights?
Yeah, I saw the light. I'm not happy about it, but
I'm all
I've seen
but
it.
convinced that Lion King's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
And Toy Story, but I think Toy Story is going to be 2.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Incredibles 2. It's like it comes out and it's everything, and you're like, oh, I guess it did pretty well. Then you look at the end of the year,
out
it
of
was
curiosity.
3rd. And you're like, oh, God, no, it made
Yeah,
a
the
ton of
thing,
money.
though, the last Toy Story movie came out 10 years ago.
Oh,
10
God,
years
it's
ago?
ridiculous how long those things have been.
Yeah, they spread about pretty well. So the whole, like, I can't. So you got kids seeing this movie.
Well, that's
You got
it's like
grandparents taking their grandkids to
But
go see it now.
what I love that they do in that movie is they don't introduce new toys. I love that.
They introduce a new one. It's like Bonnie makes like a toy
No,
Out of
they-
a spork.
It's adorable. You got.
Oh, okay. So, but it's not like a plug.
But no.
No,
but the whole-
no,
but
no,
the-
no.
Yeah,
but the
okay, that's
spork is
what I like about it.
But the spork is all like, yo, dude, why? No, I'm a fucking spork. I'm not a toy. Stop this. Like, I love the whole premise.
It's like he's trying to go back to the restaurant or wherever. Well, that was one of the things that, Lion King's going to make so much money.
Yeah,
It's
no.
ridiculous. But I just don't see, as much as I'd like Godzilla to be a top 10 one, the big monster movies don't seem to catch on.
They should.
They absolutely
Yeah, they
should. I mean,
really
the trailer
should.
is magnificent. And
I ask for so little in life.
I was telling you before the
Just
first
500-foot monsters.
That's all.
the first in-game time I saw that, they had a 3-minute scene like lifted from the movie before they went into the trailer. It's like it looks fantastic. They've got really good actors. It looks like the effects. They're having all these fantastic looking monsters, but it's like that'll be the one where it's like people are like, I guess I'll go see it. People aren't like, oh, I've got to see it. It's the one that just won't translate. But I think Men in Black people will show up just because of Hemsworth, Thor, and Valkyrie.
I think so. Yeah, no, they're going to be riding that wave brilliantly. Actually, I when I saw the trailer, Hemsworth is hilarious in it.
Men in Black might end up being pretty shitty.
Oh, it could.
Yeah.
It could not be good.
It might-
but
Yeah,
might
no,
not be
it-
well
yeah.
done. And then Godzilla is going to get overlooked, even if it's great.
yeah, I
Even
think-
if it's
yeah,
great.
I think.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it comes out May 31st. That's so soon after Endgame, and Detective Pikachu's in the middle. Like this is a big month.
Yeah.
and John Wick is still around. I mean,
And John Wick's still
That's
yeah.
next weekend, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, say May is the one, and then usually like there's nothing that first weekend of June because it's still the overflow from Memorial Day. There's like 1 or 2 in the middle, and then whatever that's closest to July 4th, and then there's kind of the weekend after, and then there's like that dead period until people start throwing some things into August. So I mean, all of these things are going to be pretty close together. I mean, Spider-Man is, I think that's the last weekend in June. So July 4th is a Thursday. So what, June 28th, 29th, something like that, 29th?
When does Hobbs and Shaw come out?
That's what, August? Is
Jesus.
that later?
That movie's going to make so much
And-
fucking money.
That's $1 billion.
Yeah.
And it's going to be perfect because it's going to hit August and it's going to coast right
1.3
in
maybe. Yeah.
August, September, October without any real competition.
I mean,
That's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
I thought I don't know how Fast 8 made 1.2 billion dollars.
I don't.
Like the second in the trailer, I saw that submarine. I was like, "This is stupid." And now they're like, "Hey, guess what? Superman."
Yeah. Well, no, that movie makes sense because at no point do they establish that, they're just really great drivers. So they're just, they're action heroes. in the Fast and Furious, they establish what they're good at is driving cars, not saving the world from nuclear catastrophe.
And that's what makes that one odd, is because the further they go along, they have to continue to involve cars for the only reason to make it make sense.
Do you remember the first one when they were just jacking trucks?
That was
it was great.
That's where they
great,
started. Yeah. No, I rewatched it all the way to 5 just recently,
and now people are hanging on to helicopters.
Yeah.
Like 5 was the extent of the car ability.
Yeah, that's where they could have just.
5 I liked.
Oh, 5 was really good.
I like 5 a lot.
5 is a really good heist movie.
How dare they let Vin Diesel Vin Diesel's going to beat up The Rock? Come on.
Yeah. It was so funny.
Defensive tackle The Rock.
Well, they clearly put him on an apple box so he could look face to face with him, which was the best part.
He's like 5'9". Rock is 6'5".
Well, the funniest thing though is I'm watching it and then you hear the teeth suck from the women behind me as soon as they're facing off it. It's like, oh, they're gonna fight, they're gonna punch.
If you own a Juul, you will see Hobbs and Shaw. But they should just correlate Juul sales with the movie.
I'm not paying, and I have one. I'll stream the shit out of it.
You will see it. You will definitely see it.
My Juul pods cost too much.
But what will happen is when that movie releases, the Juul pods will levitate and go to the theater, so you have to go pick it up there.
Be the best product placement of all time. You just see The Rock lay out Idris Elba Superman, and he just goes, mint.
No, mango. It's gotta be mango.
Jason Statham look over. I thought you'd prefer menthol.
Well, see, that'll be one of the things that you're talking about going forward, where Hobbs and Shaw is probably going to go on for as long as these two guys want to do it, because their backgrounds aren't car drivers. They're governmentally trained people. It's like they can be the superhero guys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They need to just stray off. I don't think the fast people like them anyway. Well, Tyrese doesn't.
Well, the Tyrese doesn't, because he's backing his boy Vince. Because Tyrese has no career without Vince. Vin
Diesel hates they have a thing.
Vin doesn't like The Rock because he understands that The Rock is more popular.
As he should be. Vin Diesel. What? I mean, let's look at the sale. What are the sales of his movies that are not Fast Furious related?
Well, the Riddick.
It's the franchise
movie. That was it.
The Riddick. When he came back for the X, the Triple X, which again,
I thought that did that do
the
well?
third one did not do well at all. And then
they're making another one though.
But I mean, it made well enough. It probably does. Yeah. But the only other thing that he has that makes money is Groot. But he's not. It's not like they go to see him because of him.
No, the best part about the newest Triple X movie were the cameos, or the other people that were in it. Tony Jaa, Michael Bisping, and all those guys.
Well, in the team that he was leading, right? It was Nina Dobrev and Ruby Rose.
Yeah, like everyone was the best part about that movie.
Well, and he does a great job of he sees the other people that are I mean, he had to approve of The Rock being in it and Jason Statham, and he's like, oh, that'll extend my money making career.
I don't know if Vin Diesel has the authority to say no to The Rock. I think a studio
not
would just
at this
be
point. No.
Hey, bro, you trying to get replaced?
Yeah. Well, no,
you can do this with him or without him.
Well, not after the fifth one. No, once the fifth one happened and it jumped up, and then the sixth one is even more. It's like that's when as soon as he and I'm gonna beat you like a Cherokee drum. It's like I want to see more of these guys, and they were even talking about that. Then Vin Diesel started pouting and was like,
the first 3 minutes of Fast 5 when The Rock is in it is probably my favorite part of that movie. He's like, I got bad news and good. And he's like, I love my dessert first, and I'm like, oh, come on, I love this guy.
Now give me the veggies.
Yeah. But no, I'm quite happy for Vin Diesel just to go back to making
that's
Riddick
when you
movies.
see 8. It's like 8. They're not. I don't think
the
first time
they don't share a scene together.
The only time they share a scene is
when
the very end, but I don't think that they're in the same shot. I think that might have been added together.
Yeah,
makes sense.
And then again, if you have Jason Statham and him, and now you're adding Vanessa Kirby, another government thing, it's like you could literally have them go saving the world.
What was that? 2017 when Fast 15,000 came out.
Well, they were 17, 15, and 13.
I mean, that's what Doctor
13
Strange
was 5.
Doctor Strange was out there watching the 15 million sequels. Like, what's going to happen?
Did anyone see that little picture of why Endgame has an extra 40 million? Is because Doctor Strange went to see it.
Watched it 14 million times.
Yeah.
I think based on the math, it would have been what?
140 million.
Yeah, 140 million. So no, I just watched that It 2 trailer, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that looks great.
It looks really good. It's a great setup.
Holy shit! No, I was sitting there, I'm like, this is terrifying. It's a trailer.
And anything with Bill Hader, sign me up.
Oh, absolutely. I just started watching Barry.
Barry's great.
I just really caught up to Barry, dude. That the episode,
taekwondo,
dude. That whole
she's not human.
I wish Bill Hader had a Twitter because I want to tweet him like, so how inspired by the Coen Brothers were you for this entire episode? Because that whole fight.
That's where half the fight is off screen.
He directed that episode. That was him.
Yeah, he directed that. That's why I want to ask him, how inspired were you by the Coen Brothers? It reminded me Raising Arizona or Oh Brother. Like all the like great fight scenes in their Coen Brothers movies like take place half, and so like we get kicked in the face. Like, dude, come on, dude, your windpipe's broken. Just chill. Like Chicago still like we can still do the whole Chicago thing. It's great. And then the little girl, she's like a wild mongoose.
Dude, no, when she climbed up the tree and jumped on the house, and they're just like,
what the fuck?
she's not okay. She's not human.
She's not human. Dude, I love that. Oh my god, that's like one of my favorite 30-minute episodes of television I watch in a long time.
It comes out on Mondays, right?
It comes on Sundays.
No, Game of Thrones is Sundays.
No, because on
they're all together.
After Thrones.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
It and
great
Veep are
spot.
together.
Okay, cool.
And Veep has been hilarious.
I haven't started that yet. I've heard it's
so
great.
funny. Oh my god.
Paul told me it was like one of the best comedies shows.
Julia
period.
Louis-Dreyfus
Veep is.
crushes it on that show.
Yeah.
It's what you think politicians are, in that it's like she needs the public, but she hates the public. So like immediately after she has any interactions, it's like, oh, do I have to keep touching these people?
Yeah, she got her little Latin man. She goes, "This is the yada yada yada. He's the emperor of whatever." She doesn't know anything. She's just out there trying to get power.
I like the last trailer. It's like, well, you stole South Carolina. If you don't have the ability to steal South Carolina, you don't deserve to be president.
Yeah, because like never mind. I'm not gonna talk about it, but like. This last season, making fun of basically the 2016 election has been glorious, fucking great.
Because she was as I've missed much of it, but she was president actually for like a couple of days.
Yeah. Well, no, she was president like
a few months or something at the end of it,
and she lost the election
because like something happened to the previous president, so she fills in and she loses that. So now she's running back. So that's the thing that it's about. Is like she had that moment. It's like, oh wait, I kind of like
but
this.
they got the Kamala Harris type character running and all these other things, and it has fucking what's his face House. Hugh Laurie.
No, Hugh Laurie's in it.
Hugh Laurie's in it,
I
dude.
love Hugh Laurie.
Gary Cole is in it as well.
Yeah, the cast.
Oh.
When you watch the show, it's a bunch of like, that guy's like. Of course, Jerry knows all their names, but it's a bunch. Like it's got the guy who plays the doctor from Hangover. Yeah, he plays the doctor from Hangover. The dude with the mustache, partially bald dude or whatever. He plays like his speechwriter. He's just an idiot, but now he's taking over now as like he started doing BuzzFeed like podcasts, and now he's like a host on Fox News already because he's just a fucking buffoon. It's a great show. It's got the Secret Life of Alex Mack, the woman from that. Like the girl that played Alex Mack from like the Nickelodeon show from all the way back in the 90s.
That's the not her daughter.
She plays like her
the assistant.
Her
friend,
assistant, whatever. It's a great show. You gotta watch it.
She was on she was on Hannibal. She was the one who was on Hannibal.
Give us free stuff.
Lost her,
HBO give us free stuff, or Time Warner, AT&T. Hey, AT&T, give me a free contract. Like, give me a new phone. I don't know.
Make me the next Night King in the prequels.
Oh, speaking of which, so go ahead and segue right there.
I was
Good
just about to
job.
say,
You know what?
Hey,
You
good
know
job
what?
there. We didn't even talk about Thrones yet.
I said Game of Thrones 2 minutes ago.
which I
I
think
wasn't here. I was taking a dump watching.
I think
it.
that
What you gotta do is just go into the mic and go da-na-na-na-na.
Da-da-da-da. Wiener, wiener,
Yeah.
wiener.
Which
Can we segue into sports with the Kawhi Leonard laugh?
We will. Yeah, because my buddy Josh is going to be coming in here. We're going to talk about sports and
But I think
betting.
that's one of the
there he
worst
is.
things. I
Oh,
think that's
Lord,
one of the
this
worst
guy.
things.
He needs a different name.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
One of the worst things about that theory, why they didn't give us too much Night King information in this, is that they're saving it for that prequel series, which is
See,
even
I would.
worse.
That's 100% why they're doing it.
I would like that more.
I wish it were true,
No,
but I don't think that's the real reason.
I think when you're children of
They were like, oops.
yeah.
children of the forest, all that stuff. I think that's where we're going to end up getting in the prequel series.
Well, yeah, no, it's the long night. It's 1,000 years before.
the original Long
Yeah.
Night.
Well, and see, that's the thing that's disappointing. It's like the entire books and most of the series led up to everybody is playing children's games, and the real
Threat
is
the Night King.
is climate change.
It's climate.
And the only way that we can solve it is joining together and everything. But then the writer's like, oh, well, no, everybody hates Cersei. She's got to
So
be the
wait,
real villain.
are
We'll
you-
make her the big bad.
Are you
guy.
saying the
book's gonna be different.
secret hand behind all this was Al Gore?
Well, no, because he didn't invent anything. Talk about not winning an Oscar, getting credit for winning an Oscar.
Talk about piss poor writing. The last
Oh,
few
Game of
episodes.
Thrones, man.
This last
we
season,
started off saying they're not going to stick it.
and
you know?
then here we go. We said that I said they were going to stick it, and then all this time that was now that I've been watching this last season, and knowing that they're getting a trilogy of their own for Star Wars, I am not thrilled about it at all.
But again, the only reason they're getting that trilogy for Star Wars is
It's 'cause
because
they're first-
HBO paid Disney money to hire them so they don't do the Confederate series for HBO.
But wait, did they cancel that show already?
Well, they're
still
slow.
writing.
They're slow rolling it out. They're
They
saying,
won't- hold on.
"Oh, that's still going to be made."
As we continue to talk about Game of Thrones and talk about fucking HBO, did anyone watch the trailer for Watchmen that came out yesterday?
I did.
I
No,
did.
no.
Yeah.
How does it look? I haven't watched it yet.
All right. I mean,
It's a sequel.
It's different enough that I'll be
is it
interested.
a sequel?
It's a sequel.
Yeah, because that's Jeremy Irons is Ozymandias.
Ozymandias, who's
Oh.
like 85 now,
Oh, okay.
and he's the richest, smartest
Still, he's
non-Batman that you've ever had.
well. It's just I'm realizing season 8 of Game of Thrones writers are telling Daenerys and basically every woman everywhere. It's like, just calm down. It doesn't matter what you did or accomplished. Just calm down.
Wait, are there
Let
writers? I
these-
thought it was like
let
monkeys
these
with
guys
flashcards.
don't
Monkeys
insult
with
monkeys.
typewriters.
Don't insult monkeys with typewriters because eventually they could write the works of Shakespeare.
No, I didn't say they had typewriters. I said they had
that
flashcards.
segues
They're just
really-
holding up dragon.
That goes into one of my favorite.
Throwing crap at everything.
That goes to one of my favorite scenes from The Simpsons when Mr. Burns is giving a tour of his house, and he goes, "Here we have monkeys with typewriters trying to write the great American novel," and he picks up the piece of paper. He goes, "It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times." He hits the monkey with the transcript. The monkey's like,
Or you could do the South Park one where it's manatees with like balls or something like that.
"Well, writing Game of Thrones, right?"
Yeah, no, they were writing Family Guy.
With a Family
Yeah,
Guy.
it was a dig on Family Guy.
Yeah,
funny.
definitely a
Yeah.
huge dig.
Because Cartman was trying to stop the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
no,
the writing.
They
for
built
this
they
episode
built
is-
Dany up to be formidable. She has got her army, and of course, what they have to do for season 8 to make things kind of fair. And we don't know what's going to happen
But now
anymore.
she has to lose her
Now
shit.
she loses everything.
Well, yeah.
She's stuck in a corner.
They
It's piss poor
destroyed
writing,
most
man.
of the Dothraki. They've got rid of more than half of the
It's
Unsullied.
Yeah, she has like what 3 guys now in her army.
But the thing is, hold on. But
Get rid of her advisors.
I really enjoyed
Killing the only woman of color as a motivator.
I really enjoyed this past week's episode, though. It was almost aside from the very bad decision making overall. Everyone suddenly became idiots. John's an idiot.
Oh, yeah, no.
Everyone's an idiot.
No. John is absolutely playing to who he is.
Well, this is true, but
But
he's
Sansa,
never-
whose growth moments have been, you need to be the best version of father. You need to be the best version of Littlefinger and Cersei. You can't be one or the other. You have to be the best. And she's just straight into all Cersei. She's manipulating Tyrion. She's completely lied to her brother. She's just the worst. It's like, oh, that would be great. No, Sansa is just Cersei, who's not yet killed anybody. It's the
she's
exact
awful.
same.
terrible.
Cannot keep a secret.
Ned, her dad keeps a secret for 18 years to protect the realm. She has to hold it for like 5
Well,
seconds.
she's doing it on purpose. She's
Yeah.
a disciple of Littlefinger now, pretty much.
Oh no, that's
she
the
wants it
thing.
to happen. Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. She's into, but it's like but her the impetus of the story that they were building her up is be the better version of this. She's being the worst version of it because she's not hiding it.
How about
Yeah, no,
how
it's
about
pure-
Varys though out of nowhere coming back and being like, "Hey guys, I'm still here," even though he's gonna die probably in this episode.
I think Tyrion kills him.
No, Tyrion doesn't kill him because he needs him on his side.
I
I
think
don't think
no,
Tyrion trusts him anymore.
No, I think Dany ends up killing him. It's that's what it's shaping up to be because fucking
I don't wanna talk-
Melisandre comes in and says we both die in this land.
Yes, in
And
season
she's been
7.
right about everything except for the whole, well, she's been wrong about a few things.
Well,
but when it
she
comes
was
to who's
right on the
dying-
back end.
But when
She's
she
right
was
on the back end.
when she was wrong with the what she would see in the flames, though, it was just it fits in with the way that they would interpret prophecies, to where it's like you're never going to get those exactly right, but there are things about it that are correct, but they come back with her, and she at least they actually killed a character when their story was done, as opposed to a couple of the others. Oh, we'll just keep them around for no reason. It's like no, more people should have died.
Yeah,
More of Sansa's allies should have died. More of John's allies. Everybody's more of their allies
Sansa
died.
should have died. But she's a Stark, and she's
Well, again,
Forever ago.
You can't
they're
kill
all
her in
gonna
Winterfell
survive,
or
not
whatever.
now. But
they're not going to kill her now. That's why I said I think the writers now are pussyfooting. No one major's going to die.
No. Here's the best part. So I think that there's a couple of things that there are major people, because I've read the leaks from the people that have done looking ahead.
Have you went ahead? And
It's worse than I even would have thought. It is worse than I even would have thought.
Cool.
And the execution, I can't even imagine. It's like when you hear an idea, it's like, well,
So
it
you
depends on how they
hold
pull
on,
it out.
Before you continue, so you've hated this season so much, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna read leaks.
Well, the thing is, like last,
That's pretty much what you just told me.
Yes.
You've hated the season so much, you're like, no, I don't even care.
Yes.
I'll rather just read leaks and have it
I've
ruined.
not enjoyed the season
because I just want because I want to know, is there a little bit of hope or not? And it's like, now I know. It was weird watching last week and the things that were going on. the thing with the Rhaegal and the other thing. It's like normally that would have been like, oh my god, I can't believe it. It's like, this is what they're doing. That was my entire reaction. You're getting, it's like only once in the history has a dragon ever been shot out of the air, and you get this heavy ball-struggling weapon shooting a moving target out of the first attempt
behind some hills.
Behind the hills,
some hills, and it goes
headshot.
It goes 3 for 3 through a neck.
A neck and a headshot and then right in the chest.
A dragon's fucking neck, which is like as thin as his pen. Like. It's,
you know how big those dragons are?
I'm just saying comparatively for
and then going around
in the air,
and then when she doesn't, they don't have the idea to scout ahead. They don't use Bran except when Sansa needs them to help her to her stupid plans.
It's really bad.
She doesn't fly behind them and roast them up.
Like, don't get me wrong.
All of a sudden, Euron is Superman.
Initially, I'm like,
yes, he is.
For me,
it's
my
true.
favorite villain.
As a villain, it's fantastic that he's the one doing these highs on that, because it's like you dislike him even more, but he shouldn't be this successful.
I love him.
Well, no, the thing is, all the people from Iron Islands out of nowhere, fucking, they're all Navy SEALs, and they're all perfectly trained. They're like badass soldiers. Like, no, they're not.
For the first time that they've ever used a weapon like that.
Yeah, they first time they hit a fucking dragon.
No, I'm okay
How
with
many
them
White Walkers did Theon kill?
Like all of them.
His sister dropped him with a headbutt.
Yeah, I know.
Dunk.
I don't know. It's just bad.
Oh no, I can forgive, like, they hit the dragon out of the sky, but when she was rushing towards the ships, they all miss.
And they all suddenly miss.
They don't. They don't fire when they could have.
And her bold strategy of closing her eyes.
Yeah,
they don't have. They don't have Jon Snow.
See, that's the thing. When I was watching, I'm like, wait a second. Are they going to do it? They're going to kill her? Yes, do it.
I know. I would love to see her get ballisted off that dragon.
That would have been amazing. Yeah. That would have been like, that would have been the holy fuck moment of the entire series. Like,
amazing.
They don't have Jon Snow pet ghost because they can't afford to do the graphics.
You must
CGI
be so angry what they did.
They
with
ran
Ghost.
out of money for his ear.
He didn't even pet him goodbye.
I'm fine with this though, because at least in headcanon, it's like, nope, Ghost and Tormund are living up a life up north.
I would watch that show.
Absolutely now.
Did you see the memes going around saying the sequel series we deserve?
No. When I looked on Reddit the next day, it was like, pet the dog, you monster.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, I'm sure he wanted. It's like John said. It's like, so where's the dog going to be for the pet? And they're like, no, we're not paying for that. Come on.
Did you see the other meme? It's like the scared ass looking husky looking at the owner, like, he fucked a bear.
yeah, I saw that yesterday.
You're leaving me with this guy. He fucked a bear. Like. Oh man. Anyways, yeah.
The Arya and Hound scene I like. That was the only thing that was true to both of their characters. It's like, we got to finish our story.
Well, I think she kills Cersei now.
Well,
Green eyes.
It's just a matter of how.
Yeah, she's gonna kill.
They already gave her the Night King. Don't give her too much.
Give her,
green eyes.
Brown
eyes, blue eyes, green eyes.
Which again is TV show only. None of that's in the.
No, that's in the book. But I mean, like, they're setting up for her to kill us. Unless there's someone we don't know who has green eyes. Does Jamie have green eyes?
The three of them. The three of them do.
Aren't they twins? Are they twins?
Yeah, they're twins.
They're twins.
Yeah, so Jamie has green eyes. Maybe she kills Jamie.
She kills Jamie, takes his face.
How about Jamie
takes his face and kills?
How about Jamie being the redemptive arc of, hey, I'm going to finally.
Well, no. But see, I think that the problem with that is the poor writing. I don't think his intent is to save her. I think his intent is to go kill her. Yeah. But
the way they wrote it, the way they played it,
and then they make Brienne just a whiny whatever.
I think he just got too deep in with Brianna and just needed a way out.
She giant pussy wasn't for him.
Yeah, dude, she got really clingy, and he was like, "I gotta go."
Well, guys, listen.
I'd rather go die.
He's like, I'm gonna go pick up a pack of smokes. I'll be back.
I totally get it. I banged the chick that was 6 foot once, and it was not for me. I was like, no, I'll pass. I'll never do that again.
Yeah, Jamie's like, listen, I'm gonna go get.
Get some milk.
Gum,
I'm gonna
get some milk.
Milk and some lottery cards.
I'll be back. And
some Westeros cards.
Medieval Plan B.
Maybe he impregnated her. He's like, I'll come back in 18 years. He'll be an athlete. Like,
imagine that kid. Jesus.
Oh my god.
He grows up to be an Olympic handball player.
Those guys are athletes.
Oh man, so we really don't have much to say about Thrones now, do we?
I
It was uneventful.
saw some of the World Championship of Olympic handball or World Championships. Of
I
team
didn't even know
handball
that
in
was really an
Germany.
Olympic sport. I
Oh
just made
God,
that up.
ESPN, the
one of my
Ocho.
favorites.
No, it's actually a really cool sport to watch.
It is.
It's a really cool sport to watch.
It would be a lot of fun. It's unfortunate that hasn't caught on.
This would be a good segue into sports.
But Game of Thrones.
you got other stuff?
talk.
Do we have?
Whoa, what are we talking about?
Well, no. Let me
Like,
on the
I'll
Game
go
of Thrones
watch
thing.
it, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah,
You know.
I am. It's all of this investment that I put in. This is like worse than Lost because Lost was never this. Lost was
wait, you put investment into Lost?
Because you already said you don't do that to us. Don't do that.
Lost.
Come on.
Lost was never as good of a show as Game of Thrones.
At any point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah,
So
season
the
one-
disappointment.
Season 1 was amazing. Season 1 could be like
Season 1 was really good, but does that beat Ned Stark getting beheaded when you're like, oh, he's the hero of the show? No. And
yeah. You want to come back next week and actually talk?
Sure.
All right, man. All right.
but it's and I'm not even talking about what I know in the future. I mean up to including just last week's episode where Dany has done all of these things and collected all these armies and done all of these things and gone that, and her entire thing is break the wheel, and then all of her advisors are like,
her
oh,
wheel gets
And
broken.
they're setting her up to
she's-
be back in the wheel.
to completely like the entire the point, the intent of the writer's story from R.R. Martin to what the showrunners are doing is just flipping all of the things, and they're
Fan service.
No, it's not even fan service because fan service would want Cersei lit up to begin with, and some of the other stuff and the theories and prophecies played out. None of that's happening.
I kind of want her to win now.
At this point, it's like I'd prefer that if they are treating
Annihilate
Daenerys
everybody.
so badly in the way that they're doing
Hey, I
her,
want Cersei to win.
I'd rather have Cersei win, and it's like screw all you guys. She was the person who was going to give you the opportunity to do all the things that you're trying to get rid of her to do, and you're like, nope, we don't. Our best chance of our own freedoms is like, nope, we'll stab her in the back. No, let Cersei win. Fuck
think-
all you guys, fry.
You think they watch Star Wars 1, 2, and 3, and they're like, I really like that arc for Anakin. And they're like, let's just do that here.
But the thing is, like, they're not even giving her a good. The entire motivation is everybody thinks it would be one thing if
She's
they were
bringing
doing
in a new.
Well, it would be one thing if they were doing the Batman versus Superman thing. It's like nobody with that much power would do right. But that's not even what they're going. It's like, oh, she's upset because we're not believing her when she sacrificed her army. She sacrificed her dragon. She came to up here first. She put us in front of her, and we're like, oh well, she's too mad and crazy. We can't trust her. It's like no, everything that needed to be done for you to trust her, she has done.
She's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has. I mean,
And she has, and there's
she
no.
sacrificed 2 dragons. She sacrificed her entire army to defend the North, and now she's
And then
getting-
and a couple of her advisors because Missandei is gone and Jorah is gone, and it's like,
she's
hey,
lost
can you
everyone.
But
yeah,
the
can you
problem-
just repay? And literally, I wasn't joking when I said no. It's everybody. The writers of Game of Thrones. Danny, calm down. Why are you so upset? Calm down.
Yeah, no, they got
Don't
her-
be so angry.
They literally have her backed into a corner, and literally like an animal. Which means, as far as I'm concerned, tomorrow, on Sunday, she's probably going to end up burning all of Winterfell down.
Well, no, King's Landing.
King's
'cause
Landing,
that's where they
yes,
are.
yes.
And
King's
it's-
Landing.
But I don't see how.
She goes. Well, she has 1 dragon.
Well, that's the secondary theory that everybody's thinking about because Euron is looking up and he hears the dragon cry and he's like, "What?" He's like surprised. It's like,
Yeah.
why would he be surprised of seeing the 1 dragon? He's seen that.
Another one.
More because
There's a
most of
big
season
rumor.
4 and 5
there's
is
a
that,
big rumor there's more dragons.
but Drogon went back to Valeria and then maybe there's a whole bunch of eggs have hatched.
Okay, that'd be cool. But I mean,
It would
I
be
don't-
cool, but talk about
but-
fan service.
yeah.
It's like hero dragons.
No, it's like instead of a bunch of big Drogons, you just have like a bunch of mid-sized dragons that are way harder to hit with.
Way
those
hard to
things.
hit with that, and then they go through and
Oh, it would be pretty cool to see Drogon leading like a mini charge.
that would be kind of
Yeah.
I genuinely think she ends up being the Queen of Ashes, and that's it.
and again, that part of the prophecy, but that's breaking the wheel. But the way that they're setting up is like, no, we'll just end up either.
No, they're
somebody
setting it up
else.
so Jon Snow takes a reluctant throne.
Boring.
Yep.
Especially the way-
Season 7. Thanks for ruining the whole season for me. I appreciate it.
You're good.
No, it won't matter. Season 7 you'll enjoy.
Yeah, season 7's good.
Season 7 wasn't that bad, but season 8.
Well, but it's the weird thing is like 7 and 8 have gone. It's like the television show within itself. It's like, oh, I enjoy this. It's kind of fun. But then when you fit it in the entirety of the series, it's like, oh no, these don't work.
No, they don't fit in. They don't fit in at all. It's kind of like it's very DCU-esque.
But again, going to what it is, if what the sources of the leaks have been predicted most of the stuff that happened in the last 2 episodes. If those things are what's going, I don't even know if I don't even think there's a way to possibly even execute it well. To you're like, okay, I can buy this. It's like the choices are so bad. You're just like, really? This is
Huh.
which is funny because Maisie Williams is in New Mutants, which finally has a release date in April of 2020.
April 2020,
and Sophie Turner is in well, no, they're just. I think it's eventually get done. It's the Starks are going to kill the Fox version of the New Mutants, and it's going to be half that nobody wants to see him because they want to see the mutants in the MCU, and the other half is like, I hate this show so much, I don't even want to see people from that show in anything.
It's that bad, huh?
It could be.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, segue.
It could be.
Segue into sports.
2 more weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, and everybody's going to watch, and it's just going to be interesting to see the reactions. I mean, there's
It's Lost bad.
there's
Is it Dexter bad?
now I stopped watching after the Trinity Killer scene. I heard what happened on the very last episode. It's like that should have ended the
circle.
show.
It should have been a circle. It should have been like a circle.
Done.
It's
End with his wife's death, and then he has to
no, the child in the pool of blood, just like they found him.
Yeah,
it would have been the
that's the end of the
perfect
show.
Yeah.
ending. Ever.
Sopranos that.
But cut off.
But
Never again.
Scott Buck was the showrunner for the last 3
And he's been
seasons
the
of
showrunner
Dexter. He was for the first season of Iron Fist and for Inhumans.
Inhumans.
So he is not a good person.
Why is this guy employed?
I have
by
no
anybody?
idea.
Well, same reason, like I said, but I was just talking about a second ago.
he has the pictures.
Was Weiss and Benioff being the new? They're getting their own Star Wars trilogy.
Well, see, that's the thing. Again, fantastic producers. Fantastic.
They're not going to be the
producers.
writers though.
Oh God, they got to hire somebody good.
Kasdan. They got to
That's
bring
not
in
bad. I mean,
Kasdan.
but that's the thing is
Ryan
like
Johnson's getting his own entire trilogy. He's writing.
they were smart enough to see the very
I
first.
love Last Jedi. I think it'd be
do.
great.
They were smart enough that after the first pilot of Game of Thrones, they knew that most of that had to go. They had to recast several characters, and
They
they
did.
reshot
They-
90% of it.
Did they ever release the original trailer? Or
I think it's
pilot?
available somewhere
Can you
in the
find it?
internet, somewhere.
But you're interested to see that first.
And that all happens, and they understand that. But it's such an interesting thing. Is like once the storylines leave the books, you can already see the fraying, and now they're so far away from that they have no footing, and they're just grabbing at things that they said like they had come up with the Arya idea several years ago, which would have been after they were done with the books. But still, the theory was it's because it'll surprise people. So then they had to make the story fit the surprise rather than let the surprise story.
Reverse engineering story.
Whereas like just continue the story, and then it's like, oh no, this fits. It's like, but that's not what they did. It's like, oh, and then you can see that now. And as a moment, it's like, oh no, that's pretty cool. But then you start thinking about the way that it got there.
They really, when they were doing that whole after the episode breakdown of the episode, and they actually admit that that we did it just because it'd be a surprise.
It'd be a surprise.
God damn it! Because for a fact that's not in the book.
Because that's the thing is that's what they're chasing is that
They're
George R.R. Martin would go opposite of the fantasy sci-fi tropes. And now they're trying to not follow them, but they're just randomly choosing things to be different, so it's not the same thing. Yeah. And that's where it's like, again, the movie reviewer who was watching each of the episodes, he's like, oh my God, let John do this, and you wouldn't do that, and those were all from the books, and it progressed the story in a different way. And then when it got to the point where they're off the books, it's like, oh, here's where the whatever comes in, and then immediately the whatever came in because it was the most obvious thing that the storyteller would do at that moment.
And for those of you who are listening, spoiler alert: Dexter becomes a lumberjack
With a beard.
with a fucking beard. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Any and everyone that's actually listening to this show that hasn't watched that show,
And by the way, that's after he starts banging his stepsister.
and
His adopted sister.
just stop watching the show till season 4. I keep telling all my friends, I want to keep watching. I want to just
No,
stop.
don't do it.
Just stop.
Don't do it
No
to
one
yourself.
ever listen. I will save you literally 36 hours of your life.
There's
watch the last 3 seasons.
First 4 seasons are really good. One is like John Lithgow. Once John Lithgow goes away, it's like one episode after that. That's all you need to watch. But it has one of the origins of one of the greatest memes ever. With Dokes.
Yeah, surprise, motherfucker. Surprise, motherfucker.
No. That's not even a meme. That's actually a YouTube video.
No,
Surprise, motherfucker.
But I mean, that is the greatest thing ever because when he did it in the show as I'm watching it live, it's like, that is genius.
Yeah.
And then like the next day was the surprise, the supplies,
Disguise, motherfucker.
motherfucker.
apple pies.
All right, motherfucker.
Can I just take one moment? I'd just like to take one moment to.
Dokes was a great
I
character.
absolutely love Josh's tank top right now. It currently says Bukkake ruins carpets.
I wear it with my Bumble hat so girls know where to find me.
Oh man, are we
on hardwood floors.
I mean, and for those of you who follow me on social media, I'm currently recording this on my story. Bukkake ruins carpets. And here's Carl. Hi, everyone say hi to Carl. This is Jerry here.
Hello.
Hi. This is me. This is
Oh, I thought you were
Josh.
just doing like that's.
Oh no!
As a router.
I love lamp.
I love lamp.
Yeah.
You can actually, if you actually listen to this, you can actually go under my story and try to figure out when this happens. Anyways, with all that said, Jerry, thanks you. I don't look forward to. You literally just compared it to arguably two of my least favorite season finales.
Well, and that's the funny thing.
Anything ever.
George R. R. Martin specifically said, like,
Wah,
5
wah.
years ago, it's like, I don't want to end this like Lost, which is why he's not going to ever write the last book. Or,
my theory.
or Genius, what he could do is he could have be writing both of them and wait, and then
just
release
wait.
them
He's
within
gonna-
a year of each other, which would be even better. But,
Well,
but
I
it's-
told you he should release one page every day
Well,
for us
the
in his
weird
life until he
thing,
dies.
well, the weird thing, Winds of Winter, I think has had like 10 or 11 different chapters released. So I mean, it's
he's got like what? He's got 2 more books, right?
yes, currently, unless they expand beyond.
Oh
that.
man, do you think he pulled?
But-
Do
but
you
I-
think he pulled the Robert Jordan?
Well,
He dies,
No, what? Oh,
and then
absolutely.
someone
Well, they'll have
else
notes
finishes
with it.
the book for him.
But the other thing is,
Because
like,
the Wheel of Time is going to Amazon.
yes. But the other thing I think that he's doing is he's like, hey, hey guys, why don't you try this? He's like workshopping the bad ideas.
That's,
It's like,
that's
hey, guys,
exactly what
you
he's doing. That's why he's taking so long to write those books. Yeah,
Anyways,
right.
guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this segment now. And actually, I'm now officially splitting the podcast into 2 separate shows.
What?
Yeah. So we're going to start doing sports separately.
You're not going to hear a lot of Carl on sports.
No,
I can
no
tell
Carl
you that
on
much.
sports. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this episode right now.
Carl,
And-
would you like to give another PSA against Dolphins before you leave?
Yeah. Before you leave, Carl.
Don't trust him.
Actually,
It's easy
hold
as
on,
that.
Hold on. Quick update, Carl. How's Hinge Bumble going?
You know what? Okay, so actually, I went for the Holy Trinity. I did Tinder as well. And,
Ooh, did you? You didn't tell me
yeah.
about that.
Tinder's gross.
Yeah, and so
nasty.
so I've actually had more luck on Tinder than
Absolutely,
anything
you're-
else.
Dude,
And so-
you're going to be walking around 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You're going to be sitting around watching YouTube. You're going to be walking like, well, I'm like, where'd you do? It's like, shame.
Yeah.
Hinge now like Hinge every couple hours I'll get a match on Hinge, and then every so often, no, actually pretty much never I'll get anything on Bumble. But I was reading up some articles on Bumble. You can actually piss off their algorithms to where that
You get no matches?
you'll get that Bumble will like put you way down on the list so you
How
don't
d-
get seen.
How do you piss off their
So
algorithm?
there's 2 ways of doing it, right? So one, if you swipe right on everybody, it throws off their algorithm, so they don't like you. So it'll kick you down to the bottom list.
Have
Two-
you seen Bumble? Most of the women on Bumble are pretty attractive.
Yeah.
How you not going to swipe right on
They're,
most of
they're,
them?
they're this attractive. I'm the pathetic guy that swiped through an entire big metropolitan
Oh, yeah,
city,
no.
and
On
there's
Bumble?
nobody
No,
left.
Yeah.
Most of the girls on Bumble are fucking hot. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
well, you don't want me to swipe
I
left? Oh,
swiped
so-
through all
no,
of
they
Charlotte.
want you. They actually want you to look at the profile and read their shit.
Yeah,
Do
so-
you want children? Do
I've
you want
never
to
read
get
a word.
married?
So obviously,
There are words in these profiles?
Guys, nobody.
yeah.
Why would people write in profiles on these things?
I don't have
I
anything.
mean,
I mean, that's why
Walk on the
Tinder.
beach
That's why
and
Tinder
out
works.
in
I only have one
Starbucks.
thing written down. I'm 6'9". The end.
You land in New York. That's what you should do. In Tinder, before you even get to the sidewalk, you'll have about 20 matches, and they'll all be within like 4 blocks of you.
Oh yeah. totally.
But yeah, no. So still experimenting on these dating sites. I've done it for 2 weeks now. Don't really like them.
Have you gone on any dates yet?
I haven't gone on any dates. No, I've had a conversation with a couple girls now, but that's about it. I'm completely okay with not going on. Well, that, and you know what they've been doing is they've been sending me these people that are like, I've gotten one 5,000 somewhere in Siam. That's all I know. Somewhere in Siam, and so and she was a really close match with me. Apparently we're meant to be together.
Yeah,
Except-
the most compatible thing we're
Except for trade wars.
God damn it,
that's
guys!
been-
Here I'm trying to take photos and
Yeah.
trying to be like act natural, and all y'all looked at me, fucking fools. Anyway,
Well, that's because you're doing it like this.
Yeah.
no. I'm
Anyways,
trying to find the right angle.
Look at me.
No, I'm trying to be like, hey,
Don't act like you've never sneakily
Make it
taken a
natural.
photo of somebody.
Oh no! Just keep acting natural.
Yeah, but usually he's laying down. When he does that.
do it.
I'm not doing that.
Put your mouth around it. There.
No.
He's like, don't
Not
touch
literally.
the microphone.
Okay.
It's a
Not-
professional microphone.
Oh, Jerry, I didn't mean literally. Jesus.
That's what I call my penis. Anyway,
A professional microphone.
It's a Weinstein mic.
Anyway, so guys.
it's been good, guys. So I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you got to put your mouth on it.
Yeah, anyway, so go ahead and do your sign off.
Oh, this is Carl signing off.
Yeah.
It's easy as that.
Josh, he's actually going to go into the next episode. He didn't really sign
No,
off.
I
but-
didn't make it to
But
the second
actually,
tier.
we'll do this. Go ahead and sign off.
I'm signing off.
Well, no, you're not really signing off. We're going to start a new episode right after this. I'm going to edit it.
He's
and
trying to
cut
make
it.
the attempt of having actual separate shows.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
going to try to
well,
make
this
separate
is
shows.
Josh signing off.
All right. Jerry?
Have a good day.
Yeah, well,
I was right about the in-game Avengers Endgame being streaming only.
this is John Simon for Simon Says Everything, because that's what this particular show is going to be about. Literally, it's everything but sports from now on. You guys have a great evening or day or whatever.
Good
Bye.
night and good luck.
Restart that statement, by the way.